One destiny, one destiny.
Let's go.
One destiny. The stars and the wind, funk to the fire, the lion to the lamb, the mother to the child.
Let's go. Islam. Islam, 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 Islam. Praise Allah. Islam family. Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. This is not Moorish World any longer. This is Moorish World TV. The reason why, family, we have moved to Moorish World TV is because Moorish World have been compromised. Somebody hacked my account. I don't know when they will shut it down. So we are building on the new platform that we may get this information out and actually let the people know what's really going on, because as too much time have passed where people have told our story. I'm going to go in on Moorish World real quick. Too much time. Islam, Moorish World. Too much time have passed where we have allowed Moors have allowed other people on social media platforms to tell our story. Recently, what has happened is there's been a barrage of people want to tell the Moorish story, when in actuality they're not even qualified to tell the Moorish story. They're not qualified because they're not scholars in their own right. They're not scholars, nor are they Moors. Now, I am not a scholar. I'm the first to admit, but I'm a Moor. I'm qualified to speak on the subject because I'm a Moor. But I don't call myself a scholar. I think that title should be reserved to some of the brothers that I am friends with. My brother Ali Bey, my brother Matdiel, my brother Gramillion El, my brother Sharif Bey, Tunica El, and I can go on and on, Shim El, Cyrus El. I can go on and on. These are Moorish scholars. If you want some answers, we need to get to the Moorish scholars. Not saying that you have to agree with the answer, but if you want a Moorish scholastic answer, then you have to go to a Moorish scholar, first and foremost. You don't go to a Star and Buck. Oh, not Buck, Star. You don't go to the Star Chamber. You don't go to somebody's twitching like they need to put a couple more pills up in them. Nay, hey, hold up. First and foremost, let me rise and give praise to Allah. I'm sorry. Praise Allah. Let me rise and give praise to Allah. And I want to give honor to the prophet that taught me how to think and not what to think. I want to give honor to the prophet that taught me how to work the mechanics of my mind to figure out this mad drama. And I ain't figured it out yet, but I'm on my way. I give honor to the prophet for that. Moorish World, move on over to Moorish World TV, because this gonna get heated tonight. You can believe that. Now, back to what I was saying before I bring my brothers in. On Moorish World, you don't see the brothers in there because they are tuned in, they are locked in on Moorish World TV. So you got to go over on Moorish World TV. You will be able to hear the brothers, but you won't be able to see the brothers. They are on Moorish World TV right now. Anyway, real quick, my brothers, let me just go in for 1 second. Work with me, brothers, because I want to put this right. I want to put this right. I wish y'all could go on to Moorish World TV. If you're not, get over there. Listen, I want to put this right. Brother, I just need 5 good minutes. 5 good minutes, and then we're going to move forward. It seems as if, you know, back in the day, in old times, during slavery times, there were stories of how the European would put one of us in our midst to cause confusion so he can maintain the control. Meaning that out in the field, everything is going fine. His cotton is being picked well. His clothes are being washed, sewn together. Everything is going fine. He go and find, for the lack of a better name, just say Carlos. Come here, boy. I want you to go over there and smack that old buck right there. Well, Master, why? Just go smack the old buck. Carlos go smack the old buck. The buck fight back. The master come over there with the shotgun. Click, click. Both of y'all. You over there and you over there. What the master is doing is showing who's in control, and he's starting to do, he does that over and over and over and over again. So in the psyche of the buck, quote unquote, and the Carlos, they know he's in control. Now Carlos don't get it. Why did he just told me to do that? Carlos is not getting it. The buck thinking, man, I don't know what's wrong with Carlos, but let him do it again. You see? Now, at the same time, the women is watching. The women saying, oh, they just punked our man. Wow, I have to try to protect the man the best way I can. I know Master set that up. He does it all the time. It's the same thing over and over and over. As my father always said, I've seen that movie before. That's where I got that line from. I seen that movie. So the women is paying attention. They got the wisdom. You know, wisdom. Women got that wisdom. I'm sorry if I'm long-winded, but I'm going to get to my point real quick. Then what happens is the children are taking this in year after year. So they grow up automatically submissive. Not just use that one situation. But there were many situations like that went on the plantation. In today's world, we have those same type of people. I'm telling you that the slanderous remarks by Star was clearly a setup. This is not the Moors saying this. This is Tahaka Bay saying this. Be clear. I believe through my great researchers and common sense that Star was put up to this. If the Moor that was on that phone would call me, I may have a little bit room to play with. However, I believe that that was all set up. I believe that we have people coming at the Moors for whatever reason. They really dislike Moors. They hate themselves first. I believe this belief is not, this is what man thinks is true. This is what we say in the Moor Science Temple of America. Believe what man think is true. I think this is true. I believe April the 10th has bruised certain people so bad that it is their religion to criticize, to destroy anything that the Moors set their foot towards. They haven't been successful, nor will there be any success in it. We accept the challenge even in the wisdom of knowing that this is a setup. Why do we accept the challenge? Because it's the will of Allah. You know, we're going to make our enemies our footstool tonight. You have given us a platform to teach our people. So I tell you this. Carlos. Bring them on. Bring them on, we're going to knock them down. Bring them on, we're going to knock them down. Bring them on, we're going to knock them down. But I know for a fact, I guess it's not fact, it's belief, that this was all by design. And we don't care about those plotting. We said bring them on, because we already know. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali make a statement. He says he has these latent powers and he can call them into action at any time. And those that follow the Prophet Noble Drew Ali understand what that means. Man, we got vision beyond what you can imagine. You don't believe in God. So hell, you're definitely not going to believe in the foresight and the insight that we have. But it don't matter. I'll carry on later with that. And I might even call some names. But with that being said, we're going to start this show. And I'm going to let my brothers introduce themselves. And then we're going to get on into it. Yeah, we're going to get on into it. And Star, if you ain't there twitching too much, if you ain't there shaking too much, if you can hold the phone, with your glasses, give us a call. Let's talk about it. You the mouth of the South, the mouth of the lower South. If you ain't shaking too much, pick up the phone. Give us a call. I put it on your feed. You can call us when you get ready. Since you gonna teach us about some Moors, man up and teach us. Let's go. And we'll be respectful and let you talk. Just be respectful and don't be running those foul languages that you like to do. Languages, because I bet you probably speak foul language in Puerto Rican too. Or Spanish too. Puerto Rican. I said Spanish. I said it. I speak Puerto Rican. Praise the Lord. Anyway, I'm going to stop babbling on. I'm going to let my brother Ali Bey come into the chat room, and we're going to get busy. Brother Ali Bey, introduce yourself. Tell the people where you're from. Make it fast because I took up a lot of time. And let's roll, my brother. And pass it to Social next.
Yes, indeed. Islam. This is Ali Bey out of Harlem, New York. I just wanted to say I give rise. I rise giving praise to Allah and His holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Give rise to the forerunner, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And I want to give honors to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I want to honor all of you brothers because when man honors man, he honors his father, God Allah. So with that, I say peace. We can move on to the next brother.
Islam. Brother Tunik Hill, it's on you, my brother.
Islam.
Islam.
Indeed, I rise giving all praise due to Allah. Highest honors to His prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Highest honors to the Harbinger, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Give honor to the Supreme Staff, the Grand Staff, local temples, and all things pertaining to Islamism. I give honors to yourself, brother, to Bey, as well as to your listening or viewing audience, etc.
Islam.
Islam, Mo.
Islam. My big brother, Mahdi Ill, is up next, brother. Introduce yourself, tell them where you from, and let's roll.
Islam, Islam, Islam.
Islam.
I want to rise, first of all, giving all praises to Allah, the great God of the universe, honors to His holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, honors to forerunner of the prophet, brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We give honors to all true Moorish American Muslims. We give honors to all the Asiatics out there in the struggle. We give honors to those who keep up folly because they keep us on our toes and they keep us sharpening these scimitars. Islam. Brother Mahdi McCoy, Atlanta, Georgia, brother.
Islam. Coming up next is my brother Gribion Hill. Come on, brother, tell them where you from and let's go. And the reason why this is important, brother, we tell people where we are from, and I'm gonna be real quick and real brief. The reason why this is important, why we tell people where we from, because a brother told me today, the other day, he was throwing some stuff at me, and he said he was from Louisiana. He said he was from Louisiana, and his Grand Sheik was all love ill. Yeah, his Grand Sheik was all love ill. That's what he told me. You know, I was about to pick up the phone and call my brother Gribion Hill and see if they can connect. But let me tell you, I believe that's the ghost in the machine. But it's on you, my brother. Let's go.
Islam.
Yes.
I rise giving honor first to, giving praise first to Almighty God Allah, and giving honors to His holy and divine prophet, giving honors to the forerunner of the prophet, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, giving honors to all the grand staff, the supreme staff of the Moorish Science Temple of America, officials wherever they may so or reside in the United States of America, and give honors to also to Ali. Honors to man, because when you give honors to man, you give honors to Allah. I'm Brother Zachary Gribion Hill, and I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Islam. Brother Shirel, you up next, my brother. Islam. I can't hear you, my brother. You got to unmute your mic. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You ready, brother? I think he having technical difficulties with his mic right now. That's my brother Shemel. Moorish World. Let me tell you, I'm trying to get y'all over to I'm trying to get y'all over to I'm trying to get y'all over to Moorish World TV. I'm about to sign out so I can watch the chat and I can talk to people in the chat room on Moorish World. I got a computer behind me. I got two right here, and I'm trying to get engaged with the people. So I'm asking you to go to Moorish World TV. I'm about to X out this in about 5 minutes so we can interact with the chat room on Moorish World TV. Anybody ready? Shamil? Islam, brother. I don't know. I can't hear you. Okay, my brother. This is what we're gonna do. See if you can work on that.
Giving all praise, giving honors to a prophet Noble Ali.
Yeah, we can't get you in that good, brother.
If you can hear me.
We hear you, but you're breaking up real bad. You're breaking up real bad. But don't worry about it, my brother. See if you can get that together. Do right now is I want to say this. While you're working on that, I want to say this. Family, if you're on Moorish World, come to Moorish World TV because we're about to go in real heavy. Family, I want to tell you that if you are in front of your children watching this, I want your children to leave the room. The reason why I want your children, we live in a real world. We live in a world where people are unconscious to the point that they have no regard to the filth that comes out of their mouth. They don't care. As long as the check is signed and it don't bounce, they will say and do anything. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to play what this brother said. It is filth. It is garbage. It is trash. His audience love it. However, me being a responsible Moorish American with 4 sons that are fully aware of the world, now they not in the shell, don't know the world, but I not tolerate this with my children, nor will I tolerate it with your children. So if you have children and you're watching this, please let them leave the room. Let them do something different for the next 30 minutes at least, because we're only going to play this a couple times. I don't want to play it at all. Most Moorish Americans would not play this at all. But we live in a real world. We have real problems, and they must be addressed real. With that said, I'm going to play this, and then we're going to go in. Listen to this, family. Can y'all hear it? Here we go. Let me see if I can get it. I'm working. I'm working, family. I'm pulling it up now, and I'm working. Moorish World, please, if you are in the oh my goodness, where is that? Oh my goodness, hold up. If you are on Moorish World, I'm asking you, come to Moorish World TV. Shamil, are you in yet? I don't think Shim is in yet. Nevertheless, let me see real quick. I done lost my file. You in, my brother? Okay, okay. Hey, brother, who is that? Is that Snow Bay just came in?
Yes, sir.
Brother Snow Bay, introduce yourself while I find this file real quick, my brother, and then we going in. I definitely got to find this file because it ain't going to be right if I don't find this file. All right? You in? Snow Bay. Everybody, mic is messing up around here. You all right? I can't hear you, Snow Bay.
Islam, can you hear me?
Islam. Introduce yourself to the people. Introduce yourself to the people, and we going in real quick, man, real quick. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but let's roll.
Praise Allah. Islam. Rise giving all praise to Allah. High honors to his prophet. You know, Osaka in the building. We gonna chop y'all real fast.
Where you from? Where you from, my brother?
I'm from Trenton, New Jersey. You know.
All right.
In the building. I might gotta dip out. You know, I had a little trouble with my water, so I'm waiting for the man to come to fix my furnace. But
okay, so while I'm getting this together, I'm gonna ask my brother Ali Bey. Ali Bey, have you seen the video put out by Star? And now, and hold up, and put out by Sinetta now. Sinetta, Star puts it out. Next day, Sinetta copy, and he puts it out. Have you seen that video, my brother?
Islam, yeah, I saw the video.
What do you think about the video?
Well, it's misleading. He's taking pieces of information that he knows a lot of people are not familiar with, and he's using it to mislead people, very much like what the guys from 125th Street are used to doing on a regular basis. I mean, he's just following suit, you know, and it falls right in line with what they do. So that, you know, this is why Sanada chose to post it, you know, because it fits their agenda, attacking the Moors, even though he's not really attacking the Moors. We'll get into that.
Right.
Okay.
And how about you, Brother Tudikiel, and then we gonna roll with it. Brother Tudikiel, what you think about the video? Have you seen it?
Actually, more I haven't seen it, so I will be leaning on your brother's.
Oh man, let me. Okay, good.
But I will say this, you know, we've heard it before, and so you know, it's interesting to me that we getting all these cap gun and one shooting blanks at us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's pretty interesting, and even strange bedfellows are being made in their opposition to the Moors. You know, it's a very interesting thing that's happening. But you know, we said for the defense of the gospel of Ali, and yeah, let's get it in. And I forgot to mention, I'm originally from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Islam, brother, Islam. You know, Brother Mathiel, what I'm going to go in and pull it up. We're going to pull this up straight from the source. We're going to pull it up straight from the source, and we're going to start from there. But did you get a chance to see it, my brother?
Oh, absolutely, brother, absolutely.
And what you think about it?
Brother, I mean, it's, you know, it's just like the brothers described it, brother. It's bubblegum scholarship. It's ludicrous. It's the foolishness of folly. Is association by design, but there's no merit to it. There's no logical fact to it. None of that. You know, it's just, you know, pointing fingers saying you did this, you did this, you did this, and they really just, you know, don't even understand that they pointing to one finger, but they got 4 pointing back at them, because whether they like it or not, they're the descendants of the Moors.
Yeah, so, exactly.
That's the funny part.
Exactly. That's the way
it's just hilarious.
All right, so we're going to get right into this right now, and y'all bear with me. We're going to get right into this, but let's just hear a little clip real quick. Let's go.
Oh, man, a color of more. I don't really know the dude like that, but, you know, it got me into looking up the founder of the Star Spangled Banner.
Okay.
So, you know.
Are you a man of color, sir?
Nah, I ain't no man of color. I'm a Moor. I don't subscribe to no color. No
oh, did you say you're a Moor?
Yeah, I'm a Moor.
Okay, hang on. How old are you, sir?
I'm 32.
Okay, 32. You are a black man. Yes, you are.
Nah, I ain't no black man.
Whoa. Let me slow you down.
Nah, man, that's a crayon.
Let me slow you down. You're a black man. And here's the thing. Where you from? So where you born?
I was born in Florida.
Yeah. You are a descendant from the worst traitors of the black race. And let me educate you. Laugh if you must, but I'll educate you on some serious shit. You ready?
Nah, man, nah.
I said, you ready to be educated?
Oh, I'm educated. I got a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing. You're in denial.
But that's just in the court. That's just only in the European world.
I don't give a fuck about that. I'm gonna educate you on why you're some of the worst traitors of the black race. Fuck your degrees. Yeah. You are a descendant of those who did what in the Congo to the Africans? What? Come on.
Nah, man. You gotta realize.
No, don't tell me nah. I'm spitting facts. Don't tell me nah. Your people did what? Your people did what?
Came first.
What?
What came first? The Congo?
Do not answer a question with a question.
Who came first?
What did the Moors do to the Africans in the Congo?
After the Moors fell?
What did the Moors do to the Africans in the Congo on behalf of King Leopold II, who never went to the Congo? What did your people do? Blacks, what did they do?
Hold on, Moorish World, I'm about to stop this feed and I'm going to Moorish World TV. We're going to continue listening to this and then we're going to address it piece by piece. Islam, I see you on Moorish World TV.
You're talking about after we...
Don't play dumb with me, Moore. Right? Don't play dumb with me, Moore. You said you're educated.
No, I'm asking you.
You said you're educated. Don't play dumb with me, Moore. Don't play dumb.
I'm familiar with that history. I'm familiar with the fall.
That's why I said I'm educating you. Now listen carefully again.
I'm listening.
You listen?
I'm listening.
The Moors with the fez, right? My nigga, the fez, yeah?
Yeah. I understand what you said.
You mutilated 30 million Africans in the Congo. You, the Moors.
Ah, man.
Let's stop right there. I want to get this last part in, and then we're going to talk about it. Keep listening. Here we go.
Nah, that's not true.
No, that's the truth.
Because what you're speaking about is when the Moors fell. That's just like when we fell in America, we became police officers. We joined.
You sound as dumb as the day long, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're not making. Nah, I'm not understanding what you're saying. I'm not familiar with that.
Go do some research.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, goodbye. Good evening. Who's online?
All right. So right there, this brother is saying, the brother on that said he's a Moor, but he's not familiar with that. This is the reason why I can't buy. I don't know what. I'm not gonna say he's not a Moor. Let me stop. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say it's pretty much suspect that this slander right here has been going on for a long time. This same slander. Like it's been going on for so long that we are accustomed to hearing it, and we have the answer for it. The answer is online everywhere you look. Nevertheless, this brother said that the Moors are responsible for the slaughter of our brothers and sisters or Africans in the Congo. I'm going to toss it up, and I want just anybody to grab it. I don't want everybody to go crazy. Somebody grab this for me, because this is how easy this is.
Islam, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, my brother.
Shemel, Islam Moore's back on. Listen, I want to just address it real quick and real brief. Down to where anybody can see the ridiculousness of this, because let me educate you on something. Obviously, he doesn't know simple geography. Show how he's things that people up on because it's bigger than him, and then the fact that what they're talking about, like you said, Brother Tahaka, they're not scholars. I'm going to share this screen, and I'm going to just go here.
It's live.
Give me one moment. All right, here we go. See it.
Hold up. You good, my brother? Anyway, while you getting that together, I want everybody. No, we can't see the shared screen yet. I want everybody to know on Moorish World TV that this is easy money. This is easy money. I'm talking about this is my 6-year-old man. Give me that money, little boy. This is easy money. Anyway, we can see it now, my brother. Come on with it. Looks good too. Looks good.
Okay. So it's the consensus, the general consensus that everybody says the Moors occupied North, right? Now we in the Moor already know about what the is, about where the Moroccan Empire. Just gonna say for any this John George, GMJ, and Zyber Van Sertima, they to that point. Moroccan Empire was Northwest Africa. That's North Africa. You want to see an actual map, an old map? To the next.
Hey, Brother Shamil,
So,
can you hear me?
Map is going to show.
Brother Shamil.
Morocco, Kingdom of Algiers. You see right here, it says Echo.
Brother,
can you hear?
Brother Shem, you breaking up real bad, right? We can't even get it because it's breaking so bad. I know where you're going, but we just need to see if you can get your mic to flow. Because it's like off and on, breaking. You follow me? So, brother Snow Bay, you said you're gonna have to go, brother. Do you want to touch the topic while he's trying to get his mic together, my brother?
I'm good now. Give me a second. I got some.
All right, okay. Since you good, so
I'll eradicate that real fast.
Absolutely. So let me swing on down to my brother Tunica Ill, and then we're going to bring it to Mati, and then we go and Gramillion. I want you,
Islam.
Gramillion Ill. I'm going to get Islam. I'm going to get you in a minute. Let my brother Tunica Ill come in, and then Mati, and then we're going to swing it all around because we're going to beat this. Man, this horse is going to be dead by the end of the night. Let's go, Tunica Ill. What you got for us, brother?
Islam, brother Gramillion Ill. Go ahead and take it.
Okay, he passed it to you, Gramillion Ill.
You're muted, brother.
Gramillion Ill, you are muted, my brother. Who know them people at Google? They got us messing up our show like this. Somebody know them people at Google. Gramillion Ill, you
Islam, y'all can hear me, brothers?
Yes,
Islam.
Sir.
Islam.
Gramillion Ill, you good, my brother, but you're muted.
Went back out. Went back to mute.
It's coming in and out. Man, I don't know. Hey.
Man.
they messing with us more.
Going on, brother? I've never seen this before.
Yeah, I've never seen this before, brother. That's interesting.
Going in and out. You know, but nevertheless, we're gonna get through this. Brother, while you work on that, brother Mati, see what you can do. See if your mic mess up next.
Yeah, Islam, bro.
Can you hear me good?
Oh, go ahead, brother Snowbank.
Praise Allah. We gonna I'm gonna share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, brother Snowbank, don't spare no punches.
I'm not holding no. I would really give him the business, but I'm gonna be nice because I can't really go there on this platform.
That's right, boy. Keep it more.
First off, y'all need to get y'all study up. Y'all keep seeing people with fezzes on, right? And you just automatically say, okay, they're Moors, they're this, that, and the third. If you really knew the history of the Congo, for one, the people that you're talking about, that's mutilating people that you calling the Moors, they was actually doing that to fellow Congolese citizens. So if they were doing that, if they were Moors, then that's more on more violence, which is isolated, which doesn't mean that Moors hate Africa. But we're gonna bust up that lie right now. If you can see my screen, you see I have part of it highlighted. What you actually saw in those pictures is the force publique, which was conscripted and partly volunteer forces of King Leopold II. So I'm going to read the highlighted portion. Initially, all the recruits in the force publique were foreign Africans from, watch this, East Africa. That's not Moorish territory. Zanzibar, Somalia, and Ethiopia, and West Africa. Watch the names: Nigeria, Gold Coast, Dahomey, who are the real traders of Africa and Sierra Leone, who were commonly referred to as Hausa. They were labor migrants as well as mercenaries similar to those employed by East African traders who operated in the parts of the Congo before the establishment of the colonial state. Again, in 1885, recruitment of the Congolese, these are the people from the Congo, into the force publique began in 1885. At first, it was voluntary, meaning they joined on their own. Nobody asked them to, or they asked them to, but nobody made them do it. They joined on their own. But due to low pay being offered, 30 centimes a day amount to 9 francs for the first enlistment and 55 centimes per day. Now I'm gonna show you another pic where they have the actual numbers, and you can see the first volunteers that came on. Then when they started paying, they started coming in droves. Now, after I show you this next picture, which is basically from an article, I'll give you the title to the article right afterwards. So, you know, just so you know, I ain't just snatched this from somewhere. This came from an actual African history journal. So let me just read real fast. Initially, a large portion of the recruits in the force publique came from the Azande, Batetela, and Bangala groups from the northeast part of the Congo. Not Morocco, not Mauritania. So if you want to deal with the facts, they're not Moors. Just like the brother said on the call, they're just the same as quote unquote black police. They are no different. They are conquered, and then they were enlisted into the army. Not only were they enlisted to the army, but they were transported. So if you were from, say, the northeast part of the Congo, when you got into the army, they would send you to the southwest, so that the people that you were policing over, you didn't know, so that all the soldiers could be like foreigners in their own land. This is all here for you to see. I don't know how y'all didn't look it up, but as you can see, as I have in the red bracket, Raymond Buell gives the breakdown of the camp at Elizabethville, which had about 565 soldiers. 363 were conscripts, 64%, meaning that they signed up to get paid. 66 were volunteers, 86 enlisted, 50 of whom had served 16 years or more, and 36 had served more than 7 years. These were the mercenary forces that were initially brought in from East Africa and other parts of West Africa. So again, I don't know where y'all getting this nonsense from, right? That Moors did this. But you got to step your game up further than just looking at affairs and assuming that person is automatically a Moor associated with Moorish history. You got to come better than that.
Islam.
Did y'all get that? Islam, brother Grimiel, can you come in, my brother?
Islam, Moor, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, give me a second. I'm a basically follow up on my brother here who just basically broke that down. But while I'm doing that, I also wanted to point out how this brother Star, you know, I have to admit I'm not really a big hip hop head, so I really never heard of the brother until he started talking about the Moorish movement, or the Moors rather. But notice what he said and how they played the game. Just basically following up on what Brother Taharka said as well. Basically, what he did was, let me see if I get this demonstration up. Basically, what he did was he took the old switcheroo. At first, he called the man black, right?
Right.
And when the man said he wasn't black, he said, okay, yeah, you know your people, you are Moor, right? Well, your people killed all of our people in the Congo and so on and so forth. So you gonna tell a man he black, now you're gonna tell a man he's a Moor. So which is it, he black or is he a Moor? And why did that brother Star switch that demonstration up like that if you know it gets played again or if people listen to it? Moor, can y'all see my screen?
Nah.
I can.
Okay. You can see it?
Yes, sir. You got Brother Snow Bay
Islam?
up there.
Y'all can
Yes,
see
sir.
my screen?
Yes, sir.
We see Snow Bay on it.
Right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Islam. But so basically, I'm gonna go out, come back. I'm gonna. What I'm saying more is that when these atrocities that was committed in the Congo were basically Congolese people.
Can't hear you, my brother.
Yeah, you're going out, brother. Up.
That were recruited. Say again? Can y'all hear me?
Breaking up real bad, brother.
Okay, how about now?
Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
Islam. Okay. They don't want this show to play more. We getting some real bad things happening, but we gonna carry on. We gonna pray in the name of Allah to carry out this work. Basically, with that being said, more, I'm going to go. Can you all see this PowerPoint?
No, sir.
I don't see anything up there yet.
Islam. So with that being said, more, I'm gonna just go on with my demonstration because I got some important facts that I basically want to bring out. Like what Brother Snow Bay was saying, basically this with the feds. After all these years of Moorish Americans being in America from 1913 all the way to 2016, or rather I should say 2009, no one ever associated these fed soldiers in Central Africa or the Congo until these basically debates started around the year, 2009, 2010, or something like that, when the Sarah Sutanseti phenomena happened, and they started showing these pictures of these actual soldiers in fezzes killing Central Africans. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna just go on to this demo. I hope this demonstration show up as I click on it this time. Okay, brothers. So, with that being said,
we can't hear a word from you, my brother.
All right. Oh, all right. Can y'all see that?
Nah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It flashed on. Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay. So can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I see you, my brother. But your
okay.
There it is. I think that's
it is.
Okay. There we go, brother.
All right. Let's go with it, Morris. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So the atrocities committed in the Congo was not but done by Moors. As you see, what you have is indigenous people of Congolese descent that were in the Belgian army. As you see, the Belgian army people or army officers are paraded there. And Brother Snow Bay said actually a significant word that I'm going to get into. We're going to get into that demonstration. So basically what I have here is it's a false association with the feds. After all these years, how did the Moorish Americans, the Moors, become associated with men in fezzes in the Central African Republic? And the answer is the association of the Moors with men in fezzes in Central Africa came about during the first debates to slander Noble Drew Ali in Moorish Science Temple of America, D. Seti. The use of the said images were used for shock value. So Brother Sarah Sutin said he first put those images of brothers in the Congo being slaughtered and being tortured and maimed by men in fezzes. That was put up and no context was given beyond about the video. And it was used to evoke the emotions in the people. So now you have brothers like Star, coming on, blaspheming the Moors and the Moorish Science Temple and all of these different brothers like Sadnetta, and the list now goes on. But they've seen these videos, but no illustration. So basically this was used by accomplished by the use of imagery with men with fezzes and thereby associating those people with Moors and Moorish Americans. But we asked the question, what is the truth of the matter? And pictures that these brothers see that?
Yes, sir.
Islam? So
Islam.
with that being said, if you look to your immediate right, you'll see a man with the fez dressed in the force publique uniform with two young females in chains. What the Moors did, just because they have an African brother with the fez on, you all see the pictures. That evokes a lot of emotion. Number one, if you look at the brother in the picture in the center, and if anybody know the history or the teachings of Moorish, of the Moorish Science Temple of America, they know that they would know that Moors abhor men with marked fezzes, if you will, or fezzes with symbols on them. We wear our fezzes pure and untouched, without any type of marks on it. We have some form of service to the force publique of the Congo. Now, so now I went back one slide, but I want to answer the question: who exactly are these fezed men? So in order to answer the question, Brother Snow Bay touched on a lot of it, but in order to answer that question, we have to be familiar with colonialism and the colonial powers. Number one, these brothers are uninformed about the history of King Leopold of Belgium. And number two, they are ignorant about the creation of what is called the Congo Free State. Mahdi McCoy L know a lot about this as well, because we both are forces. Now, you got to understand the study of the colonial military tactics, and that these brothers are ignorant. With that being said, King Leopold was the king of Belgium from 1865 to 1909, and with that being said, he created what was called the Congo Free State through the bogus International Association, African Association. With that being said, what King Leopold did in this book they call The Scramble of Africa. If you haven't read it, read the book. It's called The Scramble of Africa. And basically what was done was King Leopold deceived the other European rulers who were scrambling to begin to take portions of the landmass of Africa for the exploitation of raw materials. So his interest in the Congo or in Central Africa was basically humanitarian and philanthropic. YouTube link right there. If you watch this YouTube link, and there's a young lady talking about the history of King Leopold in this situation. So he lied, and they basically allowed him to colonize Africa. The Congo. And with that being said, it became not just a possession of the Empire of Belgium, but it became the personal holding of King Leopold himself, And the pretext, as you see that I have on the screen, the pretext of their so-called philanthropic and personal interest in Africa was only used to exploit the natural resources of the region, which was gold, timber, and especially rubber, because the world's demand for the use of rubber was increasing. King Leopold himself, King Leopold of Belgium, was sitting on a gold mine in natural resources in that regard. Brother Shem El went into this a little bit, that the people really don't understand geography. And with that being said, on map, this is what is called the Congo Free State, which is the area that was colonized by King Leopold so he can exploit the natural resources. And with that being said, I want to talk about what Brother Snow Bay said about conscription. The definition of conscription is people who were forced to comply to join the military. So basically, there was these Congolese people who they say, hey, you know, they went up to the average male. You want to fight for King Leopold? No, cut your hand off. You want to fight for King Leopold? No, kill you. So brothers was like, hey, no, I'd rather fight for King Leopold. And basically what these natives or aboriginals of these land was basically conscripted, and some of them people were so evil that they because of their lack of having things, they basically volunteered to participate in what is called the force publique. Now let's talk about that for a minute. Now, with that being said, when you understand military tactics, what they do is they don't use their own military. They keep their strong, powerful, disciplined military forces to serve the crown in the interest of the nation. So
That's
what
right.
they do is they have what is an auxiliary force, and that's what Brother Snow Bay was pointing out, that these people, that these ignorant people are saying the Moors are none other than other Congolese people who were organized into a military fight to use his own army to enforce his exploitation of the resources in Africa.
Right.
So the force publique was a type of private public military force and are auxiliaries to the Royal National Military Force, and yet not truly members of the so-called royal forces or military. So basically the chain of command was, and they talk about these people are Moors, but basically the force publique, all of the officers of the force publique was Europeans. So basically the chain of command was Belgian army officers, if y'all saw in my first. Other European mercenaries were next in the line of command. And the rank and file soldiers were actually people who were recruited or conscripted from warrior tribes in the Hot Congo. Now, as we continue to go on, so these soldiers and fezzes, they had absolutely nothing to do with the Moors, ancient or modern. They were actually other Congolese killing other Congolese, and Islam wasn't even a factor, because some of these people and a majority of them religions, or they was Christians. So Islam wasn't even a factor. Now let's get to something very important, because they try to point these people out as Moors because they wore fezzes. The sort of uniform you see has nothing whatsoever to do with the ancient Moors, modern descendants of America under the authority of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So, you know, the Europeans actually did something very special in that regard. So we asked the question, why are these Congolese men in fezzes, right? And this is very important to understand, to the point that these people are not Moorish Americans, nor are they Moors. What is the title of our ruler in Morocco?
Sultan.
Sultan. So with that being said, there's absolutely no connection whatsoever with the Sultan of Morocco or any of the other Maghrebi states of our people, or any, because our people are descendants or the remnants of those people who are still Moors, and the mixed breed people was there. They was fighting their own wars against the same people who was colonizing Africa. The people in Tunisia,
right.
Morocco, Mauritania, they was busy fighting the French incursions on their own land.
That's right,
They didn't
bro.
have no time to people in Central Africa and oppress them. So let's ask this question, right? Why are they in fezzes? Why do these men have fezzes? They not Moors. Because you have to understand European colonialism or European military psychology. Because it was the tradition of the European colonial forces to mock the old and defeated Moorish nations that they had defeated in 1492. And the other Aboriginal people, they mocked these Aboriginal people by placing fezzes, or marked fezzes, if you will, on the heads of conscripted and recruited soldiers throughout Africa and Asia, whether they was Moors or not. And they did the same thing in India. And if you watch those old movies in India, if you watch the old movies in other parts of Southern Asia, moving over into China, when the European colonial forces took over and conscripted or recruited these peasants on all of those mercenary, military, auxiliary forces that they appended to their armies. That was universal amongst the Europeans. So that didn't mean that they was a part of the Moorish Empire killing people. That was just a part of the European using that headdress as a form of mockery of people. And it was also a distinction to distinguish the mercenary conscripted forces of the European colonialists, to distinguish them from the rest of the natives, to say this is our public. And we talking about the force publique, but the German Empire, the British Empire, they all had their own quote unquote force publique by the name of Ascari. So everybody was appending these sellout people of African and Asian descent into their army, or I shouldn't call them sellouts, because some of them was basically forced to do that demonstration. Absolutely. So when we gonna continue on with this demonstration, so we established that more. Y'all gonna trip out off this demonstration right here. So who unveiled because nobody knew what King Leopold was doing in the Free State of Congo. Basically, it was his personal property, just like you bought a house, or that's how or a piece of land. That's how Leopold II was treating the so-called Congo Free State. So who is this brother right here? Or rather, I should ask the question: how was Leopold conspiracy unveiled? Because none of the they don't talk about this in history, brothers and sisters. Who revealed the conspiracy? The person who revealed the conspiracy of what Leopold was doing in the Congo was an Asiatic Moorish American brother. I refer to him as a Moorish American brother, and I'm gonna explain to you all why. It was a Moor from America who unveiled the conspiracy against Leopold II by the name of George W. Williams. As you see, this is a painting of him in the left. If you do research on that brother, you all find out that was a very bad brother. He was, when I say bad, like Run DMC say, I talk about bad meaning good. Now, y'all probably wondering why I have Samuel L. Jackson on the right side of the page, because they tried to sneak this into history so you won't know. In the recent movie Tarzan that recently came out, the latest Tarzan movie, and don't say, oh, the Moors talk about Tarzan, it was blah blah. Don't do that. But basically, in the movie, the Samuel L. Jackson played the part of a U.S. agent who was and a reporter rather, who went into the Congo to figure out what King Leopold and his agents were doing in the Congo. And he played the part of this brother on the left-hand side, George W. Williams, in the movie Tarzan. Go check it out. Go research who this brother George W. Williams was. And he was the one, he boldly and bravely challenged King Leopold in his activity in the Congo. A brother from America did. And then after that, all of the other missionaries or whatever jumped on board to try to expose it. But this was the first brother to expose that demonstration. Why did I bring him up? You know why? Because this brother's understanding of history was no different than the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, with the exception of his continued use of the word Negro. But this was in the 1800s. So I can excuse and forgive that brother, because it was meant for Noble Drew Ali to bring us the exact and total package of why we shouldn't call ourselves Negro. But this brother understood what the Prophet said. Now, this is an excerpt from his book on the history of the Negroes in America. And this brother understood that not only did the so-called black man, if you will, was in Africa, but there was in Asia. And I'm going to close out and I'm going to read the excerpt from this brother's book on Negro history. This brother says, in Japan and in many other parts of the East, there are to be found stupendous and magnificent temples that are hoary with age. It is almost impossible to determine the antiquity of some of them, in which the idols are exact representation of woolly-haired Negroes. We talk about Asiatics. Although the inhabitants of those countries today have straight hair, among the Japanese, black is considered a color of good omen. In the temples of Siam, we find the idols fashioned unto Negroes. Among the Hindus, Kali, the consort of Shiva, one of their great triad, Krishna, the eighth incarnation of Vishnu, and Vishnu also himself, the second Trimurti or Hindu triad, are represented black in color. Now, these substantial and indisputable traces of the march of the Negro races through Japan and Asia, for all y'all who criticize us and our leanings toward Asia, lead us to conclude that the Negro race antedates all profane history. And while the great body of the Negro races have been located geographically in Africa, they have been in no small sense a cosmopolitan people. Their wanderings may be traced from the rising to the setting of the sun, taking the whole southern portion of Asia westward to Arabia. This is Brother George W. Williams talking. This conjecture, which likewise was a conclusion drawn after the patient research by the late Sir T. Stanford Raffles, accounts more satisfactory than any other for the Oriental habits, ideas, traditions, and words which can be traced among several of the present African tribes in the South Sea India. Traces of this black race are still found among the Himalayan range from the Indus to the Indochina in the Malay Peninsula, and in mixed from through the states, the southern states to Ceylon. Now, brothers, don't that sound like chapter 46 or 47 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, when the Prophet was talking about the widespread use of people of Africa, the spread existence of people of African descent all over Asia and the world?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, with that being said, brothers and sisters, I'm basically going back again to my brother Snow Bay, who eloquently broke that down, and also our brother Shem El, who was basically giving us in the archaeology, if you will, of the area. Now, we all are on consensus that this was Central Africa, correct? The Congo.
That's
Now,
right.
with that being said, I'm trying to get out of this screen shit, because I want to show something else personally. I'll click on this camera demonstration here. That being said, if you of the Moorish Science Temple of America and you go to the actual the last sentence of the Act 6 of a divine constitution and bylaws of America, the last sentence will tell you that this is my divine constitution and bylaws. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Israelites whom inhabited the northwestern shores of Africa. So in our teachings, basically, the Moors are telling you all, the Moorish American Muslims are telling you all that our interests, as far as our history is concerned, and where we come from, had absolutely nothing to do with the Congo or Central Africa. Our history is concerned is in the northwestern, and Brother Tunica L know this demonstration. He demonstrated on this before. Our interest is in the northwestern and the southwestern shores of Africa. That's what we're talking about in the Moorish Science Temple of America. Not the Congo. This is where the Moors come from. These regions. And this is what Brother Shem L in his PowerPoint was basically pointing out to us. So I don't know how these people jump way from West Africa, Northwest Africa, Southwest Africa, and jump all the way to the Congo and see some basic people who have been conscripted into a colonial force and basically say, oh, those people are Moors, and show everybody these heinous pictures to evoke hate and emotionalism into the thing. About that demonstration, the Moors wasn't about that. We here right now doing what we can to end European colonialism in our minds. So get to the bottom of that whole demonstration. So it was a man who had philosophical leanings similar to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who was the one who uncovered King Leopold's plan in the Congo. So with that, I say peace, brother.
Islam, real quick, family. Then I'm gonna pass it. Real quick, family. Let's first understand this. Whether you like it or not, all of us, and let me rephrase that. Majority of us that find ourselves in America today are descendants of the people of Northwest and Southwestern shores of Africa. That is agreed on over and over and over and over. That's
right,
just the facts of the matter. If you want to use the cargo, what they call them, bill of lading with the slave ships, whatever you want to use, it will identify where we are from. So when people say, you Moors, just say hypothetically if we wasn't Moors. You say you Moors and point at us. And you say that you killed the people in the Congo, you lined them up and bang, bang, bang. That's what you're saying. Well, brother, you are the same people. Say if we wasn't Moors, which we are. When you saying me, you're saying you, because we come from the same bloodline. However, your thoughts are wrong, brother. That was not us. Now, with that being said, we've done some atrocities. We don't deny that. Our Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches us that we suffered slavery by not following the principles of our forefathers, which means we did not follow the divine way of our forefathers, and that's why we find ourselves in this condition today. Meaning that we got off the path, we went astray, and we did some things. But your scholarship is off. What you're saying right there does not apply. There's some other things that you can pick out, Sinetta. You can go and pick out tons of things. Star, that's just not one of them. You can pick out pictures where the Moors was doing crazy stuff. That's not one of them. You're sounding silly and uneducated on the matter. With that, let me give it to my brother Ali Bey real quick. Brother Ali Bey, you can add on. See, hold on. 1 second. This is so easy for us that I don't even have a format. I'm just telling everybody to jump in. I'm not asking them no questions. This is how easy this is. This subject has been addressed over and over and over again. That's why this has the fingerprint of Sinetta on it. That's why. And Sinetta said he's going to put out a conversation with me and Larry today. Let me tell you, Sinetta, I recorded it too, Sinetta. You can't chop this one up. I don't care what you put out. When people see of Tahaka Bay, it's Tahaka Bay. I'm not like them guys on your channel. They go and sell some coke. They go and sell liquor. I'm not one of them guys. I'm not one of them guys on your channel that say they from somewhere in Baltimore and nobody knows. Not one of them guys. So whatever you put out about Tahaka Bay, you're going to hear Tahaka Bay. I also got the conversation where the guy that says he's from Baltimore, Unc, says he's from Baltimore, and his homeboy verifies me. You know, so we can put out whatever we want to put out. You see Tahaka Bay. I don't run from Tahaka Bay. People know Tahaka Bay. So with that being said, brother, what we need to do is what you did in Harlem on the video when the politician, the European politician was coming in and you was instructing the people not to support this politician because he's going to take your vote and go. That's we need to be your fight. Your fight is not with me and my brothers. Heck, you are my brother. You are our brother. That's not your fight. Your fight should be down there with Scientology. Your fight should be down there with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Or maybe flip and turn it. Your fight should be building something where you stood at for the last 20 years. Maybe a daycare. That should be your fight. Your fight shouldn't be with a brother because he's wearing a fez. What is wrong with you? Are you insane? But
yes,
if you want to bring it, we welcome it. It doesn't matter to us, brother. We are we are versed in all aspects of warfare. That's why we're winning, and we will continue to win. Peace and love. Ali Bey, it's on you, my brother.
Islam, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Amazing demonstration, brother Grimion L. Unfortunately, a lot of it was coming in and out, but hopefully people get the picture as to what it is that you was putting down, because that was some really powerful information, pertinent information. The sad part about everything that's going on in terms of Sinetta and all of these other people who are attacking the Moors is that they really are spitting in the face of the great works of a lot of our elders. Grimion, you and I spoke about this earlier. A lot of our elder teachers, the great Dr. Ben, the great Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, as well as you mentioned, the brother Runoko Rashidi, and a lot of the works that they put down. You know, 1 minute they're trying to persecute the Moors for all of these fictitious things that they done concocted in their minds, you know, because the Moors weren't, you know, somehow they weren't black people, but then they were black people. And it's like a lot of confusion going on. But let me just read something from Dr. Ben, his book Cultural Genocide in the Black and African Studies Curriculum. Something that the guy from Baltimore that you were just mentioning, Tahaka, tried to misread, as if we don't understand what it is that the elder was writing when he wrote what he wrote. This is what he said: Moors, Carthaginians or Carthaginians, Tamarians, which are Egyptians, Ethiops or Ethiopians, Puantis, Numidians, Meroites, Ta-Nehesians or Nubians, Ortegians, Amazonesians, Hesperians, and Africans are only a few of the names we will call with honor by the ancient Asians and Europeans thousands of years before the Western Europeans knew that the Americas existed. These Moors that went into Spain are the same Africans that built in Salamanca, Spain, Europe's first university, the University of Salamanca. It was the African hero, Hannibal Barca, who led over 100,000 African soldiers, not warriors, across the Iberian Peninsula, across the Alps mountains, and down into the Po Valley of northern Italy, where they remained for approximately 20 long years, fighting the best that the Europeans had at the gates of Rome. Certainly, and this is the part that the guy from Baltimore is trying to misread. He obviously has a reading comprehension problem, but we're going to read it because we understand the context of what the man was saying. Certainly, the African American children's hero that led their African ancestors, the Moors, into Iberia was none other than the illustrious General Tariq, the man in whose honor the Rock of Gibraltar is so named. This is Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen, the only black scholar who had a degree in Moorish history. Pages 14 through 15, Cultural Genocide in the Black and African Studies Curriculum. This man says Moor is a name, just one of the names that our people will call with great honor. With great honor. And now, with all of this work that this man has put down, all of the work that Dr. Ivan Van Sertima has put down, and many others, these people are spitting in their face. They're pretending that they're somehow more qualified in the area of Moorish history when they're not. We all know that they're not. And it's just, to me, it's really sad that they're doing this because they're following the leads of people that I would just as soon refer to as divisive devils. And it's unfortunate, but I don't know what else to call them. Everything that they're doing at this point in time is geared towards division. Has nothing to do with unity. Nothing at all to do with unity. But, you know, I'll yield to Brother Makti McCoy L.
Islam, my brother, everything that you said is the absolute truth, brother. But here's the here's a big fact that everybody seems to want to overlook, you know, and this is like a crusher to the Afrocentric community because they've been selling this nonsensical utopian African you know, Kumbaya festival for years. And for years we keep learning that Africans have been killing Africans for thousands of years, you know, because these people were tribal. They were not no one united African nation. They were tribes. You know, one tribe didn't look at the other tribe as Africans. They looked at them as just another people, another country. So it was nothing for them to wipe the other people out. You know, Brother Grimion broke it down. He said they conscripted soldiers from one province and took them to another. Why would they do that? Because they weren't going to kill their own people. But if you take them to another province in the Congo was a big country. Take them somewhere else, they didn't mind killing those people. Why? Because they didn't care nothing about their dark skin. It wasn't them. You know, so to stick a fez on their head, which was a colonial trick, a colonial mockery, putting a fez on their head does not make them Moors. These atrocities are taking place all over Africa. I mean, you heard the list of names that Brother Snowbay gave. Tanzania, a part of the Moorish Empire. Zanzibar, Ethiopia, Somalia. What part of the Moorish Empire is that? How did those people all of a sudden become Moors? You have already tried to relegate us to Northeast Africa. You don't even want to give us Northwest Africa. You don't even want to give, I mean, well, you tried to relegate us to Northwest Africa, pardon me. You don't even want to give us Southwest Africa. You don't want to say that we were even in the South. But now you want to, because somebody stuck a fez on somebody's head, you want to say they're all Moors. And look what the Moors did.
Right.
Just like the brother said, that's a SETI trick. That's what SETI do. SETI is all about the shock value. SETI is WWE, and he's Raw and Friday Night SmackDown all combined in one. Technique down to go with it. He is the Vince McMahon of the country. So he hit you with them daggers. You know, he like to throw them daggers. You know, give no references with them daggers. So, I mean, you fell for the okie doke. You fell for the trick. And Star, you sound like a total fool. You need to stick to social media, brother, because you don't know nothing. You said you just deal with facts. What facts are you dealing with? What facts are you dealing with? Who gave you them facts? You need to go back and put a smack to the one that gave you the fact, because they told you a lie. It is an absolute blatant lie. These people were a rainbow coalition. The Hausa. They from all over Somalia, Ethiopia. Most of these people wasn't even Muslims.
That's right, bro.
But you want to associate them with the Moors. You want to say, yeah, them was the Moors. The Moors was the big sellouts. Man, the Moors were the first people to be sold into slavery.
They were the first targets, bro.
It's first targets. We have presented, Brother Sharif presented scholarly in the papal bulls where the popes gave the edicts saying that it's okay to enslave the Moors because it's a continuation of the Crusades. So the first slave to hit the American shores was from Morocco. Y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't really want to know where your ancestors from. That's why you just want to say we black. That's why y'all just want to keep hollering Kemet, Kemet, Kemet. But you don't really want to deal with the truth. And the only legacy that you had of Kemet is by way of the Moorish Empire. That's just all it is to it. You are who you are. You are who your ancient forefathers were. 125th Street needs to stop it. Just stop it. Selling that bad information. I mean, it was a setup from Jump Street. Anybody with any common sense could see that. Because when the brother said, you know, I'm a Moor, oh, Star immediately jumped to that. All of a sudden, his background screens changed. Everything was dealing with 125th Street and brothers from the House of Consciousness. Woo! Everything. It's in the background. Before that, all you saw was promotions for clubs and things like that.
That's right. Tell the truth.
That's not even what Star does. He don't even do that. I don't even know why he's trying to step into this arena. He knows nothing. He's a block of wood. It's a block of wood, brother. You played yourself on Hot 97.5, so now you got Spot 97.5 on the internet, and you sound like a straight-up spotted fool. So I'm just going to tell you straight up, brother, you need to leave that stuff alone because you don't know what you're talking about. Stick to talking about 50 Cent. Stick to talking about Trick Daddy and Lou. Stick to talking about, you know, entertainers. Stick to being the male Wendy Williams because you are not a scholar. You are not an intellectual. You do not present facts, brother. And your stuff was just, it was piss poor, sorry research, and I'm sorry for you because the Moors, we just destroyed all of that. We just destroyed all of it with facts. And you know what? You could have did it yourself with a Google search, brother. All you had to do was type in. You probably didn't even know it was the Force Publique, though. You probably didn't even know that name, so you couldn't even look it up. Come on, man. Stay in your lane, brother. Stay in your lane because you're outside of your scope right now. Islam.
It's not real quick before my brother Tudy could come in. Brother, you just said everything I wanted to say, brother. All right, we going home. Goodbye. No, brother, because it's just that simple. That information is so old. I was talking to Brother Larry today. Brother Larry from 125th. And brother, that's why my voice is hoarse, because we was yelling back and forth. Right. We didn't get nothing done. We didn't go nowhere with it. I'm trying to tell him my perspective. He's telling me his perspective. I'm listening to him, but I know without a doubt or contradiction that his information is so outdated. He's in the age bracket where he might be computer illiterate.
Yes, sir.
You know, for real. And that's why in the temple here in Baltimore, we're going to have computer literacy class for the elder. Anyway, Bottom line is this. His information is so outdated, he's still standing on it as if he researched it yesterday, which he don't even understand. As Meek Mill say, Star, there's levels to this. You scratched the surface and didn't even dig deep. So, Brother Larry, come on, brother. Get your little phone that they sell at them little tents, brother, and 10 key your those searches.
Get an Obama phone.
Yeah. 10 key your searches and get your information out. Brother Tunica L, it's on you, my brother. Oh, real quick. And Sinetta, you recorded the conversation? Brother, I did too. And the Tahaka Bay that you hear now is not a different Tahaka Bay. You know it and I know it. Put it out, we'll break it down. Or matter of fact, I'll put it out and we'll break it down. We'll get to that. Nevertheless, Tunica L, take the floor, my brother. I'm sorry I'm so long-winded tonight, but we got to check them. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, actually, brother Tahaka Bay, my brethren, man, they have thoroughly
yes, sir,
and succinctly killed all of that noise with the facts. That YouTube video that first put that out there with that inflammatory title and presented these brothers from the force publique as Moors just because they had affairs. Wear beanies and bebops. Are y'all Englishmen and Irishmen? You know what I'm saying?
Excellent point, bro.
Just because someone has affairs on, that makes them a Moor? What kind? I mean, there's so many gaps in their mentalities and they thought that it's not even funny, man. There's a we often talk about with our youth, there's a lack of critical thinking skills. And we see that being played out among these brethren with all these weak shots that they attempt to take on the Moors. It's like, Brother Mark D mentioned this whole narrative that's so played out and so unsubstantiated by the historical record that there was this unified Black Africa that existed, and then a big bad European came and disrupted it. You know what I'm saying? They give so much credit to the European rather than taking responsibility for self. And you got modern nations, Benin, Nigeria, Ghana, who's already apologized for their role in slavery. But they want to pick and choose. They want to pick and choose. So, I mean, slavery in West Africa pre-European is so well documented. Anyone who's still carrying that old paradigm of the Africans didn't enslave before they saw the Europeans, that's what made it such easy pickings for the European, was the tribalism. Those conditions already existed on the continent. That's why it was easy pickings. And it was the great empires that, under a very strong hand, that unified all these tribes and nations under one thing. And we know of the great ones of Ghana, Mali, Songhai, and the Moroccan Empire is one of those as well. All on the continent of Africa. So again, they take this European thing about north and south of the Sahara, etc. So they claim some, but don't claim the others. Even though today's Ghana is not ancient Ghana. Today's Mali is not ancient Mali. Today's Morocco is not ancient Morocco, or even medieval classic Morocco. So it's so much, so much faultiness in their thinking and so much ignorance of their own story as it relates to West Africa. West Africa is so Islamic. It's not even funny.
Fact.
And it was spread by the Marabouts, right? But ironically enough, the abolition movement against the slave trade came via Islam in the Senegambia.
Facts.
because you had a situation, and this broken down in the book, The Walking Quran, by Brother Rudolph Ware. He documents extensively the slavery that was going on in West Africa, right? And there was almost, and also specifically in the Senegambia region, Senegal, in that region. And he demonstrated how for hundreds of years, there was like a unspoken truce between the religious leaders and the hereditary kings. And the king involved in the slave trade. But what started the revolution against that slavery on the West African continent, which eventually inspired the Britons to take up abolition, was because the hereditary kings began selling walking Qurans in the slave trade, breaking Islamic law by selling their own brothers in the slave trade. And they call them walking Qurans because these brothers and sisters had memorized the Quran from the beginning to the end. They could recite it from memory. It had been beaten into them. They had to write the Quran in ink on wooden tablets. And then once they finished writing it, they drank the ink. So they drank the Quran. When the hereditary kings began selling walking Qurans by the hundreds across in the slave trade, then that militarized the sheikhs. And the sheikhs declared jihad against the hereditary kings. And that's just one of the dramas that was going on in West Africa coming up to and during the transatlantic trade. It's like there's so much concerning the history of Islamic West Africa. West Africa to this day have per capita more Muslims than any country in the world, than any region. So it's like you can't miss Islam. You can't miss the Moors. Just because you're upset with how a particular Moors demonstrate and they maybe offended you, et cetera, so you're gonna take on this, or you see the Moors getting shine and starting to capture the minds of the people. So you think you can undermine us by throwing all these little weak, petty, baseless arguments out there. You're wasting your time. It is what it is. And it's really just cyclical.
That's right.
The Moorish Empire will be again. You know, the seeds of it is being planted. It's already been planted and it's starting to manifest from here in America. And I know y'all hate it, but you're wasting your time. You should do something more constructive because your arguments are so weak. Your scholarship is so Swiss cheese. Your reasoning and your thought patterns are so illogical in the face of what's becoming common knowledge in academic circles.
That's right.
Y'all behind.
Exactly.
Africans was selling Africans into slavery. You know, they tell a story of Ghana into Mali into Songhai as if Ghana passed the baton like in a relay. Ghana was running and passed the baton to Mali, and Mali started running. He said stick, and he passed it to Songhai. No, right. Mali rose up against Ghana, murder, genocide, rape, pillage, took That's Ghana right. and became Mali, controlled right. the territory.
That's right. That's right.
Later, Songhai rose up against Mali, killed the leaders.
That's right.
Genocide against the Malians. Rape, pillage, everything that's involved in war, and became an empire. So yes, the Moors did some of that too.
Right. They only want.
So how you gonna claim one and not claim the other?
You're right, brother. Because they only want to document Morocco going into Songhai. They don't want to talk about how Ghana went into Mali and how Songhai went into how Songhai went into Mali, how Mali went into Ghana. They just want to talk about how Morocco went into Songhai. I mean, what's up with that?
Yeah, as if it's like isolated. All these things was going down in West Africa among Africans.
Among Muslims.
And a lot of that was pre-Europe.
And you know what's amazing,
And
Moors?
when they were selling them brothers to the sisters to the Europeans, it was just business. That's how they saw it. Business. There was no milk toast, catchy feelings. I'm selling my brother. They didn't see it like that. That's fantasy land. That's why the prophet Noble Drew Ali gave us a more realistic view of people on the planet when he told us the people identified by their nationalities.
That's right.
Not by colors. It's that little silliness with this color thing that don't allow you to see things as they are.
Exactly, bro.
Nationalities have natural interest.
That's right.
And they strive and compete with other nations, regardless of whether or not they share similar phenotype or physical characteristics. You know, that's silly. Grow up.
To the point, let me just read this real quick from the historynewsnetwork.org. There's an article about slavery. It's called "It's Time to Face the Whole Truth About the Atlantic Slave Trade." And in this article, they addressed the question of how Africans could have sold other Africans into slavery. And to the point you were just making, Brother Tunica L, it says the answer is that African slaveholders didn't think of themselves or their slaves as quote unquote Africans. Instead, they thought of themselves as Edo or Songhai or members of some other group. They thought of their slaves as foreigners or inferiors, in the same way the Spanish or the French and the English could massacre each other in bloody wars because they thought of themselves as Spanish or French or English rather than Europeans. So to the point you were making about the way they identify themselves through through nationalities and so forth, and not through these groupings that later came about through these European anthropologists and sociologists, these color classifications, they saw themselves through different groups of people, regardless of skin complexion.
Right. But see, they're so dumb, brother, that they can't see that we do the same thing. The Bloods and Crips kill each other. The Stones bang with the disciples. We're tribal people, man. Come on. Are you really that naive to think that just because we're all the same skin tone that we all get along? Man, look how many of us are killing each other. Stop being foolish. Stop playing the game.
Brother, the blacks, I was telling Grimion L earlier, black people are the biggest race traitors to black people. You know why? Because black people kill each other on a regular basis. Look at what they do to Chicago. They murder their own children. They'll sell drugs to their own children. And these black people will allow this stuff to go on in their communities without doing anything about it to stop it. Okay? They let the police murder them without impunity. And they don't rise up civically to do anything about it. Okay, this is what I'm saying. They let these gangs go all through their communities and they don't do anything about it. These are black people in these gangs. And the black people in these communities allow these black people in these gangs to terrorize the people in their communities. And you know what the black people in the communities do? They don't do anything about it. So they're the biggest race traitors. They the ones who fill the prisons. Blacks, I bet you there's more blacks in prison than there are self-proclaimed Moors in prison. They're the race traitors.
Wow. Islam.
Brother,
Keep it going, brother.
We don't want to leave the impression that we see ourselves as differentiated from our people. That's not what we're saying. You know, our people are our people. But we're making this point about this old narrative and this old perspective that has no basic in historical reality. This idea of this unified Africa, it never existed in the annals of history. Never ever was Africa one unified thing, and the European just came and disrupted it. Get that silliness and start doing some research, and Africa do some research into West Africa. Indeed.
What'd you say, Brother Snowback?
Do some research into West Africa. As with all the anti-Islamic sentiment that's out there. And if you claim your descent from West Africa, well, you are claiming some descent from Muslims and Muslims, or whichever term you use, the contemporary term or the classic term. You can't miss it. This is your history. So we're not different. We're not separate from you or isolated from you because we actually know this history and we're trying to inform you of it because it's parts of yourself that you need to reclaim.
That's right.
Because Islam gave us discipline. We are wild spirits. Islam gave us discipline.
That brother's a teacher.
And our people need some discipline.
Brother, all I can do is sit back and smile and laugh, man. Because, man, that prophet teaches us in the Holy Quran, the Moorish Temple of America. You gotta laugh at their absurdity. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. It's just crazy that in 2016, in this electrified age, with all of this information available to us, that we can't take the time, or we won't take the time, to try to sift through the information to try to understand. If you don't want to be a Moor, or you don't want to subscribe to being a Moor, that's fine. But don't take the first information that is handed to you or that you hear and try to come back and attack somebody. Notice this before Snow Bay come on. Notice this. The Moors, the brothers said they subscribe to Kemetic science or Nile Valley culture. Much as these brothers came at us and come at us, I have yet to hear one brother that's a Moor that I roll with come at Nile Valley culture corrupt or scandalous or slanderous.
Right.
Not one time.
Right.
Because you know why?
Because it's ours.
We know that's our culture too.
That's right.
We'll be talking about ourselves. You can't name one brother from Ali's men or the Moorish Temple of America came back with a fight to slander the Nile Valley culture, no matter what type of fight that you brought to us. You can't name it. Because we all one people. And we know that. But you need to know that. You don't have to put on a fast. You don't have to subscribe to the teaching of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. But check the wisdom. Check the scholarship. See if it's correct. Dig deep. Don't fight to disprove it. Fight to understand it.
Brother Tahaka Bay. Brother Tahaka Bay, we don't want no conscript here anyway, brother.
It's not. So look, before you Snow Bay, I would be remiss if I don't play the rest of this. I want to play the rest of it because you know what they're going to say. You only paid to. It's all the same junk. But you know what they're going to say. So let's take 2-3 more minutes and listen to the rest of it. And then it's on you, brother Snow Bay, and then we'll spring it to my brother Grimion here. Here it is. Relax, take a seat, get the children back out the room. I'm going to give you 30 seconds so you get the children back out the room, because this is filth. When somebody says they educated and speak like this is filth. Do you talk like that to your grandmother if she's still around? To your mother? That's how you talk to your family? See, when I talk to you, I talk to my family this way. See, everybody knows Tahaka Bay talk this way. I get worked up, I can talk to my mother this way. See, you're not going to see Tahaka right here and in front of my mother, another Tahaka. I'll be in front of a cloud of family members talking just like this. Do Star talk to his children that way? Is that how you get down? See, man, we got to stop being so fake. See, your whole character is fake, so I know your information is fake. But here it is. I hope the children out the room. Let's go.
What's going on, Star? It's Jimmy J.
How you?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm chilling. I appreciate you actually banging on the ball that's a little too scared of the truth. I'm not going to get too much into that, though. But what's the topic for tonight?
Will Trick Daddy put his finger in Brown's ass?
Excuse me?
Absolutely not.
I don't know. Trick Daddy said he sounds real agitated. He's talking about people from Capital City. You see that nigga holding tight?
Hold on. I'm going to stop it because I want to get past that foolishness. Sorry about that, family. Let me get past that real quick. Work with me real quick. I want to get past that because that's worthless and that has nothing to do with the topic. But he's going to go right back into it He's going to go right back into it in a second. So bear with me, family. I just don't want him coming back, or anybody coming back for that matter, talking about, bro, y'all ain't do that.
What came first?
Here we go.
Hey, Moore, don't play dumb with me, Moore.
I know what you're saying.
There's the truth for now somewhere. No, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm saying that niggas that's light, you know, like light brown, like people that's like that, like
I don't know.
Good, man. Right. At 4'8",
And I'm known for educating.
There we go.
In the Congo, Africa.
There we go.
King Leopold II, who never set foot in the Congo, never set foot. But the Moors did his dirty work there. That's a fucking fact. Foot in the Congo, never set foot. But the Moors did his dirty work there. That's a fucking fact. The Moors were the ones that chopped off the hands and the arms of other Africans. Their brothers, as they like to say. Downsizing or rationing the food. And bullets which were expensive. And I think I've mentioned this to you before. In order to save bullets, when they had to downsize or they didn't have enough food to feed people, they used to line Africans up and shoot through them. Boom! You line 3 up, shoot, bang, with one bang, so that the bullet will go through them. That's what the Moors did to the Africans. That nigga's in denial. Good evening, who's online?
All right.
What's up?
All right. So that is the gist of what he was saying, is that the Moors would line them up, and bang, you know, he put that sound effect to it. He's so slow in the brain that he's trying to remember what to say. I'm good at body language. I've been in certain places where I had to study body language. You get what I'm saying? That was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. I had to see stuff before it jump off. Long time ago. That back in the day. Don't worry about that. Anyway, but the body language says that he's not even confident in what he's saying. The way I'm moving my hands, and the way Brother Tunica Ill and Mati and Snow Bay and the Moors on the panel, Ali, Grimmy Ill, the way we talk with confidence. We know this stuff. He twirling his little cigarette in it. Go check it out. His little blunt or whatever it is. You know, he's shaking, his eyes moving all crazy. Man, come on, man. And he's talking with such filth. And he says that he's going to educate somebody. All of y'all that support this nonsense, I want you to sit your child in front of the Star Channel tonight. It's called Star Chamber. Take your child, 16 and under, and sit them in front that Star Chamber and let them learn about the Moors from Star. Please.
That's funny.
And you know I'm not serious, because that's ridiculous. You would never do that. So why would you put that nasty foolishness in your head? Go get a book. Stop using your phone just to call up a female, or just to get on a chat line or into a conversation that you know nothing about. Use your phone to do a little bit research. Brother Snow Bay, the floor is yours, my brother. And we're going to wrap this up in 15 minutes, but I want you to take the floor. Go in, my brother.
All right. Well, first, we done already eradicated that nonsense that he said. But real fast, I want to just show y'all the article that I was reading from earlier. So you can get, so you can see where I got it from. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. The name of the article is "The Military Violence Against Civilians: The Case of the Congolese and Zairian Military in the Pedicle, 1890 to 1988." The author is Mwelwa C. Musambachime. That's an African. from the continent, giving you the history of Africans on the continent. And it comes from the International Journal of African Historical Studies, volume 23, number 4, 1990, page 643 and 644. So, you know, this is a real article. You can go look it up. They got a link. You know, we'll share it later. And real fast, what I also want to do, let's get me back on the screen here. As Brother Tunica L mentioned something else. So let's blow that out of the water as well, because a lot of people are going to keep bringing this up. You know, the Moors and Songhai. First of all, when you talk that story, please get your facts straight. The Moors conquering Songhai or defeating or toppling the Songhai Empire is pretty much the same as Larry Holmes beat Muhammad Ali. It's like he was already over the hill. It was already done. And when you actually go and check the history, and I've already done this, I'm tired of beating you on the head with this. They never actually conquered the entire Songhai Empire. They did defeat the emperor. They did topple the empire, and they wound up renaming it. You know, the sons of Askia Ishak. But Morocco never controlled Songhai. Never. You can go check this. Key point number one, and this is a military tactic as well. So y'all shouldn't be upset that they use Turkish guns and you know the military tactics that they use. Why? Because you're going to lose a percentage of your forces traveling to where you're going to conquer. They had to cross the desert to get where they were going, and they lost people along the way. Not only that, when they got there, they did not have enough people to sustain rule over those lands. Constant state of revolt. The Moroccans under Al-Mansur actually could not control anything outside of the fortresses and you know, the big encampments that they had built. Outside of that, they never controlled anything in the Songhai territories. So all that nonsense about you know, we came in and we stole Songhai, it's lies. Stop lying to the people, and the people stop allowing yourself to be lied to. Being willfully ignorant is pretty much a sin these days. You can go look this stuff up yourself. They never, and I repeat, never took over. Never. They did defeat. They did take Timbuktu. They took a few encampments. They took Gal. They took Jenne. They took a few cities, but they never controlled the entire territory. We're talking about an empire here. An empire. Not no state like y'all think Africa is. Y'all think it's a nation. You know, it's an entire continent, which is part of the reason why some of the people from over there don't like us, because we constantly call them, you know, like they're from a continent, and they don't see themselves that way. They just don't. And the faster you get over that, the better off we'll be. But again, go check your sources again. They lied to you about that. We did beat Songhai, but we never conquered the territory.
Islam.
Check me on that one.
Islam.
If you dare.
Hey, brother, you know, this is the thing, and then we're gonna start out down the line with Brother Ali Bey. I mean, Grimion L got to go first, and then we'll start our line to get up out of here. This is the thing. If you really want to learn, get in the chat room and ask questions. I'll show if I can get some brothers that can do it with me, where we can answer some questions. We don't care if they're antagonistic. We don't care. Honestly, we don't. But when you become disrespectful, then the whole learning process is defeated. What I'm saying is, if you truly want to learn, ask questions. Don't come out there as an antagonist, ignorant fool. At least be antagonistic and act like you want to learn something. You might slip up and learn something, you know. But with that being said, I'm gonna let my brother Grimial Hill come on in and say what he needs to say, and then we're gonna start from the top and we're gonna roll up out here. Come on, Grimial Hill, break it down for me, brother.
Islam, or Islam, all my Moorish kin on the forum here. You know, more. You know, just like you know, the so-called conscious community, if you will, I should say the conscious community, and this is everybody. You know, a lot of this stuff is really going into degeneracy. You know, I can remember when I first came to this information more that, you know, they had people with all different types of ideologies and philosophies and so whatever carried on. You know, like a lot of these people are carrying on with the foul language and cursing and the disrespect and things of that nature. Just the outright, just ungenuine slander. You know, brothers had differences. They had their religious debates and so on and so forth. But you know, man, you know, some of these conscious people and some of these people who really are out here now, you could just see. That's all you have to do is go to Facebook. You know, I stay on Facebook on my phone. You know, when I'm on duty and doing so, you know, I see a lot of the things, and the people who like really are supposed to be for the upliftment of the race. You know, these people are really like no different than the people who don't know anything at all. You know, as far as like you know, discipline and morals and values and things, and it's just like and it seems like it started since that Sarah Seti phenomena, you know, with the RBG gangster and all of that kind of stuff. You know, basically, those people were trying to stop our people from being gangsters. They wanted us to be upright, independent, and fearless, civilized human beings. You know, that's pretty much it. And you know, these brothers are so disrespectful to the Moors. They act like nobody can come and snatch the skin off their face. You know, and it's really like really disrespectful. You know, and you know, excuse me, this is not coming from the temple. This is coming from brother, you know, Grimion L. I mean, our prophet was a strong prophet, and you know, our prophet was so deep and so powerful. You know, these people ain't much of nothing now, but Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you know, even went at you know, in a respectful manner, even went at the European Shriners and things of that nature to reclaim our history. And I'm be quiet, but I'm gonna read this last thing that appeared in the 1928 version of the Moorish. He was talking about all of these different types of secret societies, you know, that has stole our regalia or whatever. The prophet said this, because they was having a problem. You have to understand the context of the history. They was having problems acquiring Asiatic uniforms for the Moorish events that was going on, or the costume ball. But Noble Drew Ali basically went, you know, for all intents and purposes, defending us, talked about the European Masons, and he said this, excuse me. He said the prophet consented that this could be for the entertainment of members, referring to the Moorish ball. And he said other groups of people, the prophet was being respectful because we don't speak radical against other organized groups. The prophet said other groups of people in the city have been using the dress of our forefathers, you know, talking about the European American Shriners. And he said, imitating them all, but the olive hue they cannot get. He was talking about the true Moors, where these European Shriners or whatnot were imitating our act. They can imitate all of the Oriental Asiatic dress, but the olive skin they cannot have. And this is basically what you have with the Force Publique and the Ashkaris and all of these people and their officers. These people could wear the dress, but the olive hue they cannot get. So, you know, with that, brother, man, I say, man, I love you all. I love my brothers and Ali's men. I love my brothers in the Moorish Science Temple of America. And, you know, the conscious community, man, get some discipline and self-respect about yourselves again. And stop talking about people's religious space philosophies in a derogatory, slanderous manner. Man, when I was coming up, man, we didn't do that. And with that, I say peace. Stop acting like somebody will not snatch the skin off your face. Excuse me, brother.
No, brother, listen. This what I said at the beginning of the show. This is the real world. You know what I'm saying? And so this is Moorish World Platform. You know, we know the lines not to cross, but we also know the lines to draw. Say that again. We know the lines not to cross, but we know the lines to draw. This is not a representation of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And you said that so beautifully. That was you. And I say with Brother Tahaka Bey, this is Brother Tahaka Bey right here. The good thing about it is that I have the blessings of my brothers and elders in the movement that really trust me and allow me, and that's right, allow me. We should all have some sort of authority over us, that we may be instructed into the right direction, that allow me to express myself with them having my back. That's right. Everybody has somebody over top of them. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, you need somebody over top of you to teach you some discipline, because there ain't nowhere in the world that you should be coming at somebody's way of life. There's older women in this movement. There's younger women in this movement. There's a Moor that teaches your son, that has taught your son. So when I heard that, I said to myself, let me find out who's teaching on that channel. If you don't know who's teaching your son, because you were surprised, you don't know who's teaching on your channel. And the great researchers here at Moorish World, they left a file on my desk, and voila, guess what? The people that you have trying to teach us in the recent past, it's not ancient. When I say way back, talking over 20 years ago with my life, whatever type of street groups that I hung around, there's over 20 some years in my life. This is the recent past. Buy yourself a drink. Get yourself a drink. What you want, white girl? No, we don't do that. He's a crack smoking bird. And then he's going to come and teach my child. Because if you can't teach me, you can't teach my child. Period. Period. And I'm not saying that you can't teach. That's not what I'm saying. But clean yourself up a little bit. Clean yourself up a little bit. And I'll go into that more when you come back. Because there's more to come. All right? And anybody else who come at the Moors, there's more to come. So let's keep it 100. Let's try to build something together. Nobody trying to keep fighting you. I'm trying to be your friend.
Brother Tahaka.
Ali Bey is on you, my brother.
Islam. From what I understand, the brothers in the chat room, Star, and he's saying that the show has been very quote-unquote entertaining, but please get to the part about the Belgium logs that reference the soldiers in the Congo as Moors.
Take it away, my brother.
Well, here's the thing. You got to look at time period. Time period. A lot of people that you would nowadays call black people, Star, if you're listening, a lot of the people that you would nowadays call black people or people of color, as you use the term, at a certain point, many of these people were in the European records, not just in Belgium, but a lot of European records were documented as being Moors. That was a terminology that was more commonplace among them than the use of even black and even sometimes Negro. So you'll find that throughout European records, the use of the term Moor. That's an ancient term, and it's an ancient term that Europeans were very familiar with. Okay, as Dr. Yosef Ben Yakin said, Moor is a name that our people will call with great honor. Okay, this is an actual Moorish historian with a degree in Moorish history from the University of Barcelona in Spain. And I'm pretty sure, Star, that he is more qualified to talk on Moorish history than you are. So in terms of who those people were in the Congo, and they were not Moors by nationality in terms of being subjects of the Sultan of Morocco or citizens or of the country called Mauritania. These people were Congolese, as we very well demonstrated, and I'm sure you understand that if you're listening. These were Congolese people who were in line with the people, with this person from Belgium, to do dirt against other Congolese people. It's that simple. There's nothing else to explain. The term Moor is a term that was used generally for a lot of quote-unquote black people, particularly from Africa. That's not just in Belgian records. That's in a lot of different European records. So your problem is, Star, is that you really don't know the Moorish history, and you don't know anything about the use of the terminology or the word Moor throughout European documents. So when you learn that stuff, then come back and try to have an intelligent conversation. But right now, you're really not qualified to have this conversation.
Thank you, brother.
Brother, you can take it on.
My thing more, I just want to interject real quick. Islam, my thing more is if he's talking some stuff about some log or whatever, well, produce the log. Produce the log where, man, Brother Snow Bay, all of us, the Brother Tuna L, we all presented our sources. Present your source, brother, man. And we could deal with it in context like what Brother Ali Bey talked about. Don't just say, oh, what about the Moors and the records? Produce the records, brother, man, and then we could talk about it properly. Don't just say it because you could be lying to impress all of these other people out here or whatever in that regard.
That's right.
Because you and a lot of the other detractors and supporters do not understand what a Moor is, and y'all don't understand anything about our teachings or our origin.
Indeed. Right. And like you just said, bro, they never define what a Moor is. What do you mean by Moor? What do you mean by Moor, Star? What is a Moor? Define a Moor first and foremost so we know exactly who you're talking about. Because if you're talking about somebody as a Moor simply because they're wearing a fez, then that just goes to show you really have no understanding of what a Moor is from an ethno designation, dealing with bloodline or pedigree or stock or anything of that, or race, if you will. You really have no understanding what a Moor is. A lot of old definitions of the word Moor will tell you that the word was something that was used as a synonym for what later became Negro or black. All right, so it's for Europeans, oftentimes it was used as a general term, just as black today is used as a general term by the Europeans, and you all think that you all are black people. Okay, black is a Germanic word. It's a Germanic construct coming out of the English language, and you think that you're black, even though you have brown skin and various shades of brown skin. You actually think you're black people, or you think you're people of or from color. I don't understand how someone can be a person of or from color, but that's your business. If you really think that, then that's on you. But the bottom line is you really don't understand what a Moor is. You never define it. Okay, you're often confused about it. 1 minute a Moor is a black person, the next minute a Moor is an Arab, the next minute a Moor is a white person. You guys don't even know what you're talking about.
That's right.
You don't know what you're talking about. The only thing you're trying to do is be a bunch of divisive devils, and it ain't going to work over here. Not with us. It may work with them numbnuts that you're talking to, but it doesn't work with us.
That's right. That's right, brother. You know, and when we think, and Brother Tar, just a scholar, Sister Dana Marnici.
Yes, sir.
She said she was teaching on the terminology of black.
Hey, Brother Matt, that's how I wouldn't do this, right? But we at Moorish World TV, I want y'all to subscribe, because the sister that he's talking about, we're going to go into a ship, and we're going to make that connection. But go ahead, my brother.
Well, what I was going to say that Sister Dana Marnici presented, she taught about how the European concept of Moor and who the actual Moors were. For example, the term that a lot of people are unfamiliar with the origin of the term black Moor. You know, they seem to think that it's just, you know, okay, so the Arabs came, so they started calling you guys black Moor. You know, and then they just dropped it and started calling you black. No, that's not where the terminology came from. The sister taught on that. She said that the term was used to denigrate Europeans who were sympathizers, who were sympathizers for Asiatic people and abolitionists. She said, so they started calling them, she said the original terminology was black like a Moor.
Right.
And then it became, then the liker got dropped, and then it was just black or more. So they were describing European people. So in other words, whenever they were saying black or more, they were saying you are black like a Moor. So to them, Moor means black. To us, it means something different. So if you're talking about some lords in Belgium, they calling everybody Moors. But again, like the brother said, produce the log, brother. Produce the log, because we've shown you where these people came from. Not only were they natives of the Congo, they came from Tanzania, not a Moorish province. They came from Zanzibar, not a Moorish province. They came from Somalia, and they came from Ethiopia. All of that is in the east, brother. Now, if you can tell me when the Moors conquered Northeast Africa, brother, then I'll pay you. I'll pay you some money, because I'm gonna tell you right now, none of that is part of the Moorish Empire, and those were the soldiers who were killing the people in the Congo. So you can take that to the bank, brother. And we don't have to sit up and argue about no law, brother. We got the facts. We got the facts. The brother just gave you references. He gave you references from Africa. Not no made up stuff that you got from SETI, brother. He gave you references from Africa. You came straight from the SETI diary, brother. You don't know what you're talking about. Like I said, stick to entertainment, brother, because you are not a scholar. You don't know anything. You don't know anything. You hadn't written no papers. You hadn't done no real study. You hadn't done no real research.
He said he studied the logs. He studied the logs from private school in the 70s. That's what he said.
Yeah, but he told another brother on his sheet. He told a brother on his show that said he had degrees. He's like, man, F your degrees. So why should we accept him talking about he studied something in private school?
That's right.
Man, that doesn't mean anything to us. Listen, Star, if you listening, this is not the subject that you want to get into a debate with us about. Trust me on this. If you want to argue about Trick Daddy doing something with somebody else in his finger and stuff like that, that's your thing, man. That's your lane. But this stuff here, this is not your lane, B.
That's right.
Not your lane.
Man, listen, man. Listen, man. Listen. Y'all just don't get it, man. These are not the Moors, or let me say this. These are not the brothers walking down 125th and threw on a fez and thought they knew something. They're not. This is not them. Y'all need to stop that. When y'all refer to a Moor, don't say the Moors. Get the Moor name and refer to that brother. Because you are lumping us in the same pot and you getting your head bust. Y'all getting cooked. So y'all need to stop that. Pick the one that said the stuff on 125th that's walked by and say, you know what? This brother such and such base said this and we saying this. Don't say the Moors say. Because these brothers are cooking. Words from anybody want to go in real quick before we close out?
Islam, brother. Well, let me just say, this whole tribalism thing, Africans killing Africans, it's not unique to Central Africa, South Africa, North Africa. It's not unique to Christians. It's not unique to animists. It's not unique to any particular religion. To the point where you can even look in the Holy Quran of Mecca, and I believe it's Surah 49, verse 13. I'm just going off the top of my head, and I think I'm paraphrasing, but I believe it says, "O mankind, we have made ye from a single pair, and we have divided you into nations and tribes, so that you may recognize one another and not despise one another." Why in the world would they have to tell you that you have to recognize each other and not despise each other if there wasn't war and tribalism already happened? Facts. Come on, man. Come on. Stop playing games. Stop trying to point the finger at the Moors for all the atrocities in Africa, because you're playing yourself. When the European was saying Moor, he was talking about all of us. In that movie Black Knight with Martin Lawrence, they didn't know where he was from, but they looked at his face and they called him what? Moor. Come on, man. Come on, Star. Quit playing, man. They playing with you in Hollywood, brother. Come on. Stop
You
playing,
know what the
man.
problem
Right.
is, man?
That's
These
right.
people actually think that they're black people. They actually believe that they are black people, and not near one of them would ever be able to prove to you scientifically that they are actually black people. They have a hell of a time trying to even explain to you how they're black and what blackness actually is. You'll get all kinds of varying understandings and interpretations of what blackness is. Some of them will give you some stuff about being out of space, astrophysics. Physics, some of them will talk about the inside of a woman's womb. Some of these people will talk about it's a cultural experience, it's a social, they really don't even know what the hell blackness is, right? They damn sure don't point to their skin. And when they do try to prove that such a thing as a black person exists, they'll go and find a picture of the darkest person that they can actually find somewhere from India or Africa somewhere to try to prove this thing that, yeah, the black man does exist. Yeah, but my thing is, why don't you ever use your own pictures if you really think that you're a black person to prove
Right.
this point?
Right.
If you really think you're black,
More, the
why you
thing
don't use
about it more is even those pictures that they show are black. They are dark ebony or mahogany when you really look at their skin.
fact?
Islam. But with that, we're gonna sign out. I'm looking through here right now. And they saying
Wait a minute. Wait. He said there are many Africans. Wait a minute. He says there were many Africans who converted to being Moors. You see, look, this is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. This brother is trying to have a debate. It's not even really a debate. He's just throwing stuff out there, right? He's trying to throw this stuff out there as if he knows what he's talking about. How in the hell does somebody convert? All right, let's go with the basic understanding of what people think a Moor is. Most of the definition will say that the term Moor is synonymous with the term Negro or black. So how in the hell does somebody convert to being black? Let's remove the word Moor and let's put the what the Europeans are saying is the synonym for the word Moor, which is black. How does somebody convert to being black? Because this, in essence, is what you're talking about. This is what you're talking about. If black is not what you mean by the term Moor, what does the term Moor mean to you? Are you trying to say people were converting to Islam? Is that what you're trying to say? Because again, they're not defining what they mean by Moor, bro. Go ahead, Grimion.
No, more. I was just amening in Islam and more pure ignorance.
I mean, for him to say, he can't possibly be trying to say that people were converting to Islam and that Islam had anything to do with what took place in the Congo. He can't possibly be saying that.
See, now he's playing games, right? So what we're gonna have to do is tell him to go into them Belgium records and find where it talks about the involvement of Islam and what he was demonstrating. Show that, because if you're saying Moor is synonymous with Muslim, if that's what you mean by Moor, then show that these people were Muslims. Show and prove.
Right, because I'm gonna tell you right now,
that's right.
From Somalia and Ethiopia, I already know them ain't no Muslims coming from that. Come on, brother. Are you serious?
Islam. And with that being said, more the bottom line is that King Leopold wasn't in there or whatever to make no deals or whatever with no Muslims. He didn't care about no Muslims. King Leopold was in that demonstration to rape that country of money and to pillage and to make himself rich outside of the confines of the regular tributary that was given to the King of Belgium. That was all that was about. It was a trick, and it was a trick done by European Christians. So, when the brother talk about how ignorant that sound, you saying being a convert to a Moor. We just broke it. Show you how much in denial these people are. Snow Bay, Mahdi McCoy L, Lasana Tunica L, Ali Bay, Shem L, and myself We all went to the records to show you that these were people who were virtually forced into military service, and then some other of our rotten people who was looking for a meal and some pay were recruited and voluntarily joined this force. So what in the world are you talking about? They were converted to be Moors. It had nothing to do with converting to be a Moor. It had absolutely nothing to do with converting to Islam or something like that. These were native Congolese people who were conscripted into military service, forced to torture their people. Now let's ask the question, why did they torture their people? They tortured their own native people because the people wasn't harvesting the gold enough. They wasn't harvesting the timber fast enough. They wasn't harboring the rubber fast enough. So in order to scare the people into faster production, these force publiques, these Discari, and all of these people tortured the people to try to get them to work faster, which was an evil in itself. This is what's going on. It had nothing to do with Islam. It ain't had nothing to do with converting to be a Moor, as you ignorantly said. This was all about money, brother, man. And stop it with that foolishness. We sat here, we didn't play with you. We didn't sit here all night and joke with you and tell jokes all night. We came with the documented facts showing that these people were not subjects of the emperor of Morocco or any other Islamic caliphate or sultanate. So stop it, man. All y'all stop it.
Yeah, just cut it out. Cut it out.
Ridiculous.
He's trying to create a new narrative, brothers. That's what he's doing. He's trying to create a new narrative because, you know, the old narrative has been, you know, as far as Muslims, that we were forcibly converting people to Islam. We using Islam to go in and to rob and to rape and to pillage and to kill folks. And come on, man. You just created a whole brand new narrative. And now we converting people to Moors. I don't know how the hell you convert nobody to a Moor. How you convert somebody to a Moor?
That's because they don't understand that has to do with one's bloodline. It has to do with one's pedigree or their stock. That's what it has to do with. That's not a social club. That's not a religious order. It has nothing to do with that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
The word Moor predates Islam. They don't understand that. They think the term Moor came about with Islam. The fact of the matter is the word Moor itself predates Islam, and it does not come in with the Prophet Muhammad. So it has nothing to do with Islam other than the fact that these people adopted the religion.
That's right.
That's it. So you don't convert to being a Moor. That's something that you're born. You're born a Moor. And there's so many people that are crossed up, and you know, there are a lot of mixed breed people, man. They're confused and stuff, and a lot of these people don't even know who they are, man.
Man, this is what we gonna do. I'm gonna tell you what we gonna do. You born Baltimore. See that? Baltimore. What we gonna do is we're gonna invite Star. If he wants to come on, he can come on and learn. Obviously, towards the end of the show at 10:40, he's coming with these logs. He's coming with people converting to this, and I mean, come on. Obviously, this brother wants to learn. Brother, it's okay if you want to learn. Just ask questions and learn. Stop keep throwing jumpers up on the backboard and getting it smacked down.
Invite him on the show Sunday, brother.
He can come on the show.
Invite him on the show Sunday.
I invite him on the show.
Tell him to bring something better with him.
And I invite Brother Larry on the show. Because Brother Larry, I talked to him on the phone today. I kept the file. And we went back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. And this brother information is stuck in 1970. Stuck. You know, but it's cool though. You still my brother, Brother Larry. But you can come on the show and you can express your viewpoints. I'm telling you, we're breaking the backboard with that junk you throwing up there.
Yo, a lot of these jesters are running around talking about the Moors were nothing, the quote-unquote black Moors were nothing but slaves in Europe. They was just the slaves of Africa and stuff like that. I think that's one of the last videos I saw.
Yeah, that's Larry's story.
Yeah, a couple of these jesters, man. I call them jesters, man, because I don't know what else to call them, man.
Old
You know,
disagreeable Larry. Yeah, that's old disagreeable
yeah,
Larry story.
it's insane. But you know, all they got to do, and this is what I did, was pulled up a bunch of images of quote unquote black Moors in Europe being depicted as men and women of distinction and honor and nobility. See, the problem is that particular portion of history is too well documented in Europe itself, even from imagery, not just in the books. We can go into
Right.
various books of historians who wrote about it, but the imagery all throughout Europe is too well documented for them to now try to rewrite history using these racist Christian narratives, these modern racist Christian narratives of these people who really don't want quote unquote African Americans to reconnect with that particular portion of history, the Moorish history, and they're trying to rewrite this history, and all of these quote unquote black guys have adopted this racist Christian narrative of Moorish history to say that either they were some kind of pale Arabs or that the so-called black Moors that was in there was nothing but a slave class of people in Europe. When the fact of the matter is the Europeans have it so well documented through the imagery all throughout Europe that the people are documented as people of distinction, honor, and nobility. It's too much imagery for them to try to rewrite history in that way. It just doesn't work.
And the thing is, why would somebody want to run away from their history like that? Like it's very, like I said before. It is evident that the place that we're talking about is where 99% of the slaves came from. It's evident. Where the Moors of the Moorish Science Temple of America make their connection on the continent of Africa, everybody, whether you subscribe to Hebrew, whether you subscribe to Moorish science, whether you subscribe to Christianity or whatever faith, that's fine with me. I'm glad that you're not subscribing to selling dope, but some people still do. Nevertheless, if you're subscribing to something to uplift you, that's fine with me. But all of these people came from the same place. You can't get away from it.
Fact.
History shows you can't get away from it. So I had to learn about it. We understand that the Hebrews was in the region too. Do we deny that? No, we don't deny that. We don't deny that. You would never see a Moor deny his culture. You would never, and his culture is consistent with Kemetic culture. It's consistent with ancient Hebrew culture. It's consistent.
Right.
With Moab.
Hebrews are brothers.
Exactly. Right. We don't deny any of this. Any of it. Why do people fight against the Moors? I think you might be taking a check. And those that's taking a check is misleading the other ones that don't know no better to repeat the nonsense they're repeating. Because the nonsense don't even add up. It don't even make sense. Period. Any final words before we go out here? I'm trying to be your friend.
Islam. Or I just want to say, you know, Islam. So with that, I just want to say, the Moorish Science Temple of America was founded in 1913 AD. It was incorporated in 1926 AD. The conventions took place 1928 convention. We are now in 2016. I want all of these conscious community people who are attacking the Moorish Science Temple of America, and I'm not talking about all of these other Moorish groups outside of the paradigm of the Moorish Science Temple, and you know, out there with, you know, different sovereignty things or sovereign citizens. I'm talking about the Moorish Science Temples that were founded by Noble Drew Ali, regardless of its lineage. Ever did anything wrong, evil, hateful, or injurious to the community of people that refer to themselves as black or African American. We out here like the Nation of Islam, the Black Panther Party, the NAACP, Urban League. We are doing, according to our philosophy, what we can do to uplift fallen humanity. Noble Drew Ali didn't say Uncle Tom joined the MSTFA. He said, if you have race pride, join the MST. If you think your condition the MSTFA, we've never done anything wrong. Somebody just and they know that individuals have tried all other paths, and now they got a good portion of the Moorish people that are now looking at and are interested in the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Moorish movement, and they want to deter those people from becoming members so we can take our place in the affairs of men. Man, we need all y'all young people. Put that madness down that them people talking about, and join the Moorish Science Temple of America and help us bring this demonstration into the new age.
And Islam, let me just say this real quick. He said, I've let you so-called Negroes, now we're so-called Negroes. Anyway, Star said he let us so-called Negroes spit our weak blame game for over an hour. He let us do it. He said this is something he let us do. He let us spit our weak blame game for over an hour, and weak it was. Well, you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of this cat from the projects that I grew up in, you know, who used to like to fight. And he met up with this guy that cracked them all in his face till his face turned black and blue. And the whole time he was getting cracked in his face, he was talking about that was light, that was weak, that was fake, that was weak, that was light. But his face, yo, man, but the dude was pounding this dude's face in till he turned black and blue. His face was puffed up black and blue. The dude had to go to the hospital, but the whole time he was getting his face pounded in, he was talking about how weak it was that the dude was pounding his face in. That's what Star reminds me of, talking about he let us spit our weak blame game for over an hour. You ain't, first of all, you ain't let us do nothing. You let us do nothing. But you that same guy that got his face pounded in and got his face turned black and blue for over an hour, and then still want to turn around and talk about it was weak because you too dense to recognize that you just got your face pounded in.
But look how coward
Islam.
Look how coward this is, though. I'll let you go, Gribion, real quick. Look how cowardice this is. Why didn't he just call my number? Why didn't he just call my number? If he's on the computer and making all this, I can send you the link. See, this is how these cowards work, man. That's why we're going to wrap this show up and keep it moving. Because these cowards, man, I'm telling you, they're terrible. They're going to keep going on and on and on. But they want to learn. They want to learn, but they don't know how to say, teach me. It's like
trolling, brother.
Just like that story right there. I used to know this guy, right? Way back in the day. He used to always read this newspaper. He used to get a newspaper every day. I used to do some things that had led me to college. This old college back in the day. Anyway, used to read this newspaper in this college that I was in. Don't worry about the college. Anyway, he read it every day. And one day I seen him. He was sitting there, and he was flipping every older gentleman. And the newspaper was upside down. He wasn't even paying attention. And he sit there like for 20 minutes with him. Bottom line is, the brother did not know how to read. But so no one would say that, because in this type of environment, if you say things that show that you were weak, you may end up on the table for lunch. Brothers eat you alive. See, that's that type of college. That's that type of college. Anyway, nevertheless, I try to help the brother, to teach the brother how to read on the slide, because his pride would not allow him to allow anybody to know that he could not read. Period, point blank. And that's what these brothers and sisters be doing when they come challenging the Moors, because we have some sisters out there too. So we're going to just continue to teach, and we know that you really want the information, and we're going to teach you to read. And that's that. So Gribion, it'll wrap it up, and we're going out here. I want to be your friend. We're going to rock out with that.
Islam, well, I just want to point out how hypocritical that statement was. He said that we are blaming, that we are playing the blame game. And he listened to us for the blame game. But the bottom line is, when he was talking to that young man on the line on his show, he played the blame game. All of these people are playing the blame game by saying that the Moors are responsible for the enslavement and the fall of the black race, quote unquote, if you will. But then when we come back to defend the position and defend it scholarly and defend it with facts, now all of a sudden we are the ones playing the blame game. Man, this brother is a hypocrite to make that statement. When that brother said he had to, when he was a Moor, he didn't even have to address it. Just go on to the other nasty, dirty filth that he was talking about on his show. He didn't even have to address it. He's the one that played the blame game. But now, like Ali Bey and yourself said, he's getting chopped up, Brother Taharka. Now all of a sudden they just throwing everything except the kitchen sink. Islam, boy.
Everything except the kitchen sink. So he goes on, he says, the Moors were fighting each other from 1086 to 1214, yet you blame others for what you call the fall of the Moors. Then he went on and says, please stop lying about being attacked. The Moors are powerless, have no industry, and no political presence in America.
Listen, man, he just want to keep talking, man, and see if we're silly enough to keep talking to him, then
exactly.
We got work, we got jobs, and we got work, we got family.
So let's sign off, man. We're not going to keep on teaching this, brother. He can get my number from Sidnetta, the same number that Sidnetta called and got you the funds so you can talk about that subject. That number, call Side number. Side got my number. And then we can talk and we can get on the show. But we're not going to keep going back and forth. We're not going to do that. It's over, done with. Go back and rewind the tape, make a rebuttal, do anything. Side, any recordings you got, put them out. Everybody go see Taharka, and people going to be like, whoa, I don't know if you should have put that outside. Whoa, slice it up if you want. I have the real one here. Everybody subscribe to Moorish World TV, because on Moorish World TV, this is the only place you're going to get the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me Allah. And with that, I say Islam and peace. And I want y'all to stop letting these people running around hotepping and talking this foolishness with y'all. Y'all understand me? Don't let these people be hotepping. Please. All right? Don't let them hotep. We ain't gonna let them do that. Okay? That's right. Let's see what we got.
Peace and love, Moose.
Peace and love, brothers.
Peace and love.
No tapping, but like your rage, your face, you keep screaming black power, but you ain't busting the great. Silly steady be telling, he do a whole lot of cussing. He be talking all loud, but ain't saying nothing. Tell him bang on the beat, but he don't bang in the streets. Yeah, he bang on the mic and guard you for a seat. Let's beat what they say, and then beat by they roll. Shaka put on his makeup and said he powdered his nose. Said you gotta be kidding me, talking about my band. Shaka rocking that Remy and said he a cokehead. I call him Remy and Coke. I mean, I'm boys off a joke. I wish they would step at me and I'd be going for broke. Oh yeah, I talk with aggression, prefer to stick to the lessons. They be talking them hoes like they be playing their weapons. I know they only on tapping. Yeah, they fake with the lessons. They be talking the hoes, but where the hell is the progression? Oh tapping, misrepresenting the lesson. Yeah, they screaming like power, but where the hell is the progression?
Where's that?
Oh tapping, yeah, they fake with the lessons. Yeah,
where's that kitty?
Power, but where the hell is the progression?
Where's that kitty?
Oh tapping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, they screaming like the hell is the progression? Oh tapping,
yeah. This is for Kitty Gaffey. Kitty Gaffey. He's trying to go by Kid Daffy. It's Kitty Gaffey. We need you, hater. Let's go. You know better than to test no more. I think I told you before. Now look what happened to your boy. And then you got this Maybelline queen up in my scene. A little mustache, and you know what that means.
Low self-esteem and got something to prove. That's right, I love Jesus. I got nothing to lose. I put my life on the line, then I bear my cross. The Jesus that I come to love, walk like a boss. Yeah, he flip over tables and I rob you the streets on the back of an ass because your clown's so weak. Yeah, you managed to reach. You should be mad at your teacher. He took you all the way to Kemet and he still couldn't reach you. My prophet, he was
Kid Daffy. We love you. We love you. Let me do it like the rap do. We love you. We want you to come on home, kid Daffy. We love you. We must learn to love instead of hate. Let's go.
Born in the state of NC. I was born in NC. You know where to reach me. You can't leave NYC without wearing a vest.
Because they talk that mess. We not enlightened or impressed.
No tapping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, you screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? No tapping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, you screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? No tapping.
Oh, Ben want a shout out too. Ben, we got you. You my man. We need at least 6 haters in the chat so we can make this successful. I see 2 so far. Come on. 4 more before I sign off. Let's go.
No tapping. Misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, you screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? No tapping.
Come on, Ben. I need you to hate for me. Yeah. I need you to hate for me.
I'm trying to be your friend, man.
I'm trying to be your friend.
Trying to be your friend, bro.
Yeah.
Help me out.
Meet me halfway. No, we ain't gonna do that. Y'all want that? All right, let's do it like this.
Yeah. Islam. I'm trying to be your friend, man.
Hey, Ben. I'm trying to be your friend. This dedicated to Ben, my man.
Trying to be your friend, bro. Help me out. Meet me halfway.
Hey, I wanna be your friend.
Peace and love.
Let me be your friend.
Peace and love.
I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend.
Peace and love. Let me be your.
Ben, are you listening? Are you listening, Ben? Okay, we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back.
Yeah. Islam.
Ben,
Trying to be your friend, man.
Sanetta.
Be your friend, bro.
Ben,
Help me out.
this for you. Spaz, this for you. I wanna be your friend.
Peace and love.
Let me be your friend.
Peace and love.
I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet me again. I wanna be your friend.
Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love.
I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend.
Peace and love.
Let me be your friend.
Peace and love.
And now I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, true peace and freedom till I return to Allah. One day we gon' meet him. I'm all about justice, that's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me want to forget the lessons. I'll be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail, another calling us Neanderthal, and he all pale. I mean for real, this is what it comes to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we can get scholarly or we can get gutter. We are the children of a father and the rest of our mother has nursed us all. And first of all, these people out of being trying to murder us all. You need to chill, my brother. It's only the same, cause on the real, my man, I'm really both them things. I can take the feds off and get back in the low and return to the state where they used to call me dope. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of the law. I want love, not war. Standing on that wall, and I'm holding the square. The compass and the axe that might be too deep. Yo, lest I get off track. See, that prophet was an adapt. Do you know what that is? An Egyptian adapt is a brother who lived by the universal science developing the Nile. We call it Islamism, but it's the same, my child. Sit at the foot of a master. I train you once, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you. But those that's talking that this ain't Islam. Everything the prophet brought is in the Quran. All that other stuff, prostrate and cover up is just the start. And there's space to me, the Lord's the heart. You can just like Epitaph, but you can just like a lot of motion, American rise and utilize the word. You can say what you want about Dr. Yo, but he gave you different variations of the same thing. You don't appreciate that. You won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine true Ali. People refuse to admit it. He refers to the pathetic. Europeans had that the boys will forget it, but
but we're here, strong, alive and well, resurrected from hell, with a story to tell. So pay attention and listen, and consider the facts. You know it's legally impossible for you to be black. I guess the China man is yellow, a Mexican.
Hey, yo, Ben, Spaz, Kitty, Daffy, I want to be your friend. Peace and love.
In this ground, just think for a second how ridiculous it sounds. We can turn it around, but we must unite. It's okay to disagree, but we don't have to fight. Because if we have to fight, you know how we get. I'm still learning to love. No, I'm not there yet. So, with the family, I'ma work with you. And let's all get together and do what we gotta do. Because on the real side, we haven't made no progress since 1929 when the prophet left the flesh. We got an Asiatic president, men marrying men, psycho shooting up a club and don't see his own sin. And those that say they conscious, the truck your fuck. Move straight to Hollywood, straight living it up. And y'all picking it up, straight cheesing and grinning. But it was your friend to help you set it off in the beginning. Be careful what you put in your soul, cause it could blind you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to disguise you. Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, let me be your friend. Peace and love, I said you ain't never, and you ain't never, and you ain't never, ever. You ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever gonna be one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, so let me be your friend. Peace and love, oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever gonna be, so let me be your friend. Peace and love, so let me be your friend. Peace and love, I wanna be your friend. Let me be your friend. We ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your, so let me be your, I wanna be your friend.
One love, family. I'm gonna see y'all on Sunday. I'm gonna have my CDs, my shirts, all that's gonna be on the website soon. After I come back from convention, see y'all on Sunday. We be back with another hot topic. Haters, I want y'all in the chat room. You make us sharp. You feel me? I need y'all in the chat room. I need y'all up in there because y'all make us sharp. You know what I'm saying? We need the ignorant dope fiends. We need the young brothers that don't know no better, that say everything they hear and repeat everything that somebody tell them. We need y'all in the chat room. Come on out, brother. I guarantee you one thing. I guarantee you one thing. You learned something tonight. Whether you admit it or not, you learned something tonight. And if you didn't, you just waste a whole 2 hours of your life that you can't get back. Now, who's crazy? Me or you? Huh? It's a new day for the Moors, man. That's what it is. It's a new day for the Moors, brother. You ain't never met no Moor like this. You ain't never met a Moor like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stay around for a minute. I'm gonna stay around for a second. Now, let's do that. It's a new day for the Moors. It's a new day for the Moors, oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Yeah. Yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. It's a new day for the Moors, oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Y'all made me do it, ain't wanna do it. Try to work with y'all, and I was going through it. I say hit the streets, they wanna hit the streets, you wanna stay in the temple. Same speech, same talk, same bark, no bite. Well, alright, I'm the heart debate, and I'ma handle that. My rock spoke to me, said handle that. Now front and center, front line, look at y'all. What mine? But it ain't mine, it's God plan, a law plan. All man, 2016, all you boys see is Prophet Noble, through our lead. Old Moors, step aside, third, fourth, come on, let's ride. Hey! It's a new day for the Moors. Yeah, it's a new day for the Moors, oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. The Moors. It's a new day for the Moors, oh yeah. It's a new day for the a prophet of God. And you need to tell me we can't go hard on the war of old. The one who rode the elephants over the elves in the cold. Even went to Spain, rearranged the terrain. Even try to civilize Cain. Now cypher 2016, I'ma show you what this means. My tassel roll 360. Do you really think you can tell me what the doing say? Do you know I look up the form and bay? I roll with the prophet, I'm a prophet more. Follow the prophets, or I profit more. Stop it more. I'm holding the world
for the Moors. Yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Between you and I am divided. You never learn how to I'm so divided. How you gonna teach anybody but you when the people that love you, they don't believe you? Probably think you got jail religion. You can watch off that sent your prison. Picking up prison, that's all y'all attract. And what about the children? Y'all act that, you gon' stack that. I ain't even tripping. I show you what happened when the law gives you vision. No government grant and no food stamps. I how to build a temple from watching the ants. From watching my prophet and listening to a law. I will be in hell if I listen to y'all. Listen to y'all. Talking all Moors. Walking with a pro. But nothing show for it all. It's a new day for the Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey. It's a new day for the Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Stop screaming, bragging about our greatness. Third and fourth generation see through your faces. They don't really care about the bill of nada. Their primary focus is Gucci, Prada. Who you uplifted? Nothing, nada. Who you uplifted? Nothing, nada, nothing, nada. This one for you, Ben. I want you to hear this. You ain't uplifting nada. Let me take it back just a little bit. Listen good. Hey, it's a new day for the last verse for you. Spaz. All you haters in there. This for y'all. Listen to it. Listen good. This the last joint. We are for the Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Check it out. Stop screaming, bragging about our greatness. Third and fourth generation see your faces. They don't really care about the bill of Granada. Their primary focus is Gucci, Prada. Who you uplifted? Nothing, nada. Who you uplifted? Nothing, nada. Nothing, nada. Nothing, 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 nothing. Can't be let me get your mind set. It's sort of in the past. Can't be let some applies on you in the staff. My young boys, some of them becoming more trained, but we gonna love this is nothing what I said. So watch your slander. They got the hammer. Not like Peter protecting Jesus. But you only apostle. Don't get hostile. Cause ain't no telling what I do for the gospel. Oh! It's a new day for the Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. San Diego, everybody. Oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah. Time for the Moors to stand up. Stand up. We've been in the background too long. Get on your square, Moor. It's a new day for the Moors today. To Harker Bay. It's Get at me.